here. It's big, and it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name's Bart Hansen, and I'm here with David Tuckman and usher in the new year, Dave, 2006.
Yes.
Hope everyone had a safe and happy holidays.
You feel different?
New Year's, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever. I feel like a new man.
Yeah.
It's 2006.
You look like a new man.
Really?
Yeah. You're looking good.
We're going to usher in the new year by setting down a little limit hold'em game, Dave.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of exciting happenings over the last few weeks here at Live Bike. We hope you all enjoyed the television show that we ran during our Dark Week last week, during reruns.
I know, I watched it.
I did too.
Yeah.
I love hearing the sound of my own voice over and over again. And then when my mom pulled out the DVDs of the LA poker scene at the family gatherings, that's when I really got a rush.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without further ado, let's get to the action right now.
There we go. In seat one, we've got, check it out. That's actually a really nice shot of the table. We have like a new board on the side or something.
Yeah.
Seat one, we've got Fortune.
Fortune.
Fortune
and glory, huh?
Yeah, Fortune.
Yeah.
Wearing a quick silver shirt. Seat two, we've got Santos. Seat three, we've got Thomas. And those green chips are $2 chips, folks. It's a 4-8 structure game. Seat four, we've got Raphael.
3 players.
There it is.
Seat five, we've got nobody. I'm glad, because I can't read this guy's name anyway. There. And seat six, we've got Nicole. Seat seven, we've got Bruce. Seat eight, we've got TNT Tony.
Tony Nazar, right?
Yeah, and actually, we were just saying, he finished pretty high up at the World Series of Poker in the Limit Hold'em, I think, shootout event. And was nice enough to actually treat me for breakfast the next morning at Bellagio.
Wow.
And I didn't have to sleep with him or anything for it. Seat nine is Dale Miller.
You didn't have to do the walk of shame.
Exactly. And actually, seat one is not Fortune. That's actually Arcady is his name.
So we're playing 8-16 limit hold'em. Like Dave said, the green chips are $2 chips. This is a 4-8 structured game. So it's like playing 20 hold'em, Dave, or 4-8 hold'em.
Yeah, exactly.
With $1 chips. 20 hold'em with $5 chips. Or maybe 40-80 with $10 chips. Whatever your poison is. So the button's going to move over here to seat three. We're going to get into the first hand of the night. Nicole is in the big blind in seat six. Time for a little limit hold'em, Dave.
Raise.
Yeah, the first hand of 2006.
And seat nine's going to bring it in for a raise.
That's the
Typical
first
live
raise
at the
of
bike.
2006.
Typical live at the bike raise and limit hold'em. 6-5 of spades.
Oh, yeah.
Small blind calls here with the king jack offsuit. And look at Nicole. She's in there with queen 5. Jack 8-3. Raphael's got top pair here. He's going to come out and bet with top pair. And I don't know why Dell would call, but he's going to stay in there, Dave. And now he's picked up an open-ended straight flush draw.
Well, there you go.
And I think Raphael only had 2 more chips. And the river's a deuce, and Dell makes a straight. Running cards. There it is. That's a great way to start off the new year.
Yeah. Speaks volumes for 06.
Yep. Now, we got some interesting features. If you want to follow a thread that started on the internet, we're going to give a little kudos and respect over to another thread that is going on Full Contact Poker, Dave, as well as the thread that we follow on 2plus2.com. Now, you can go to liveatthebike.com, our website, and there are links to those 2 threads, so I don't have to keep saying. Go to 2plus2, click on Forums, World Poker Tour, and other televised tournaments,
Really?
Live at the Bike thread, or Full Contact Poker, click on General Poker Strategy,
Okay.
Live at the Bike.
So I have a lot of people that actually, most of my friends that aren't very smart, usually say, I can't find it. Where is it? I have no
Right.
idea how to get there.
Go to the website, liveatthebike.com, and click on the link. Pretty
Well, this is
simple.
easy enough.
You can also email us at liveatthebike.com. Now,
Try to keep this show as interactive as possible.
They're going to chop this one up here, it looks like. Yeah, so chopping, of course, is rake reduction, right, Dave?
Pretty much, yeah.
Reduce
Especially in this
rake
game.
if you don't see a flop. And Dave and I have been through a stressful day, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, you more than me, obviously, honestly.
Yeah.
Both of us flew in from the East Coast.
Today.
Yes.
Today we flew in from the East Coast just to be here. And I've never flown in Los Angeles and been in LA at 2,000 feet and had to fly around the city for 3 hours like I did today.
Well, at least your plane didn't run out of gas.
Well, that's true.
Or, I mean, come close to it.
Oh, this one's going to be chopped around again. 2 chops in a row in an 8-16 game. Pretty rare.
Yeah, fortunately, I guess they picked up on the weather problems in LA, so instead of flying out and then flying around for 3 hours, we were just delayed for 2 hours.
Oh, well, normally, like, you know, before a plane takes off, regardless of where it is, if it's in India or if it's in San Diego going to LA, their pattern has to be accepted, I think, by LAX or wherever you're flying into. So they delayed you guys. And on United planes, you can actually listen to the captain and the frequency that they're on in the plane talk with ground control. So I heard them say you're second in line to land at about 2,000 feet, and then them say, oh, we're shutting this runway off. Please climb to 10,000 feet and get in line behind 20 other planes.
We get a limp in here in seat 4 with 4 8 of diamonds.
And we've got 4-way action here.
Yeah.
Actually, 3-way action, it looks like. Jack 9-7.
Yeah, the 4 8 is in there as well in seat 4.
Yes, it is 4-way.
4 8 of diamonds.
We had a bet here by Bruce. He's open-ended. And he's hit the open-ended. He's got the straight there with the 8. And we had a bet and a raise. So it looked like Raphael bet there. Both players have a straight here with the 8. River's a queen, and this one's going to get chopped up, Dave.
Yeah.
I'm an 8. Yeah, we have the same hand.
Not exactly the same hand, but close enough for this purposes. Obviously, your best 5 cards play and hold them, so they both have a 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I'm sorry, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen.
Right.
Queen high straights.
You guys were definitely
Kinda cool.
drawn to 3
And we move on.
Yes, sorry. So we were talking about how
almost
how different our parents are as they get older and older too. We went back and visit them over the holidays.
I tell you, it's scary. I mean, I love my parents. My parents are really cool. My dad recently retired a couple of years ago. Actually, 2 years yesterday, retired. And he is just getting more and more bizarre. And I'm sure other people that have parents that are aging can share that with me.
Yeah. Button moves over here to seat 8. And we got a limp here in seat 3 with an ace. 3 is suited. Seat 4 comes in.
And Nicole's raising it up here with ace, king of hearts, though.
Yep, big slick suited. Seat number 1 is going to call. He needs to show us his card. So we got 5-way action.
So 5-way action.
Time's a double bet.
So $80 pot right away.
King 9-8. Well, Nicole's got top pair here. Now, Thomas has got the nut flush draw over there in seat 3.
Now, that's the kind of flop you should get when you get ace-king, right?
Well, 5-way action, I'm still with a red ace-king, Dave. There's a lot of things I don't want to see here on the
definitely.
turn.
That's one of them.
Turn's a 10, and look at this. Arcadie's got 2 pair, and he's going to bet right now. And it almost freezes ace-king here, Dave. And what can you do here with a red ace-king?
You know what? Guy called me. I mean, there's not much you can beat anymore.
Especially against non-tricky opponents. I actually had almost this exact type of hand, Dave. Let's see what she's going to do. She's going to raise.
Now, raising's not a terrible move if you raise and then get the free showdown.
If she just checks behind
Exactly.
here in the river.
If she had the intention of calling him down the entire way, she now raises it, which is the same amount of money. If she hits another king or she hits an ace, well, then she can be a little more aggressive. But she might be up against a straight. She doesn't even know.
Well, the river here is an 8, but 10-9...
Actually, 10-9 is not good
10-9
anymore.
gets copied there.
Or counterfeited.
Or counterfeited.
Might you say. I mean, because he's got 3 pair, and 3 pair is no good, obviously.
This exact same type of thing happened to me earlier in 30-60 Day. I've had an overpair. I had aces to this type of board, similar board, and a 10 came on the turn, and I bet into a guy who was a very non-tricky opponent. He raised, so I know he's got a minimum of 2 pair, and I knew the other guy was on a flush draw. Now, it was a situation where I knew in Limit Hold'em I was behind. I'm kicking myself because I should have made the call with aces even though I knew I was behind. I had about 5 or 6 outs, but the pot was so big I was getting about 11-1.
Right.
I should have called and Granted, sure enough, the river was an offsuit counterfeiting card, and I would have won the hand. But again, against non-tricky opponents, usually a raise on the big round means that they're representing more than just one pair.
Now, in that case, he just bet out. I like Nicole's raise, though, because it kind of froze him.
Yeah.
Unless he has the nuts, meaning a straight there, and in that case, he probably 3-bets, and you can release ace-king pretty easily.
Right. Because you can't really 3-bet there with 10-9, right?
No, not at all. She could have had king-10. She could have pocket kings. Who the heck knows what she has? Unless you've got jack-queen there, specifically jack-queen, and you got straight, you're not going to 3-bet.
And it's a great thing, too, if you've got other people in there to make them pay for their draws harder, even though you think you still might be behind there. If you're going to, like you said, if you just check it down in the free showdown, it's actually probably a positive, move if you think that the pot's laying you correct odds to call down, say, twice.
Well, I mean, let's say an ace of spades were to come. Well, ace of spades couldn't come out, but let's say a card came out that gave you the win, but you would have lost that flush draw. Well, you want to get that flush draw out, or at least charge him a lot.
Right. So it looks like Nicole made a little limp there in early position with King-Jack, and we're just going to see against the small blind and the big blind, and here we go. King, Queen, 7. She's got top pair.
That's the hand you and I were talking about the other day. If limping in middle position with King-Jack offsuit, to me, just doesn't make money in limit hold'em. I don't want to see a lot of opponents there. Why not raise, take control of the pot?
Yeah. You and I used to have this conversation about limit hold'em when we first started working here. And, normally in early position, a king-jack offsuit, I'm probably going to fold. But if you're going to play it, there really are a lot of hands that you should play to a raise or fold them pre-flop. King-10, king-jack offsuit. It's not really good just to open limp with that hand, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you had a really passive table, where guys are always calling your raises, even then I want to raise it up. I'm trying to think. I mean, there are times, I suppose. Yeah. I'm sure I can come up with one or two. But generally, I want to raise it if I'm coming in there with king-jack offsuit. So, any New Year's resolutions for you?
Well, health-wise, I got to say, I kind of slacked off from the gym a little bit the last, say, 3-4 months. So I'm going to get back on one of those kicks, just like every other person.
The same New Year's resolution that 90% of the world has.
Yeah.
I'm going to work out more.
How about you?
I think I'm going to try to become an alcoholic. That was my wife's resolution last year, and it didn't work out well for her because she falls asleep too quickly.
Yeah.
She has like 2 drinks and she's sleeping.
Limp here in between the blinds. Ace 3-3. Now Nicole's got top pair. This guy just folds. First the acting folds in seat 4. Nicole bets. And Dell raises here with 6-9, and now Nicole fills up. She's going to bet out again.
So Dell was on a complete move there, huh?
Yeah, Nicole. I think Nicole showed the deuce there. Well, Nicole's a pretty solid player, of course.
Yeah.
She works here as a prop, and she plays a lot of no limit as well, Dave. You see her in the 500 game on occasion.
Hey, now, the table's got a new border. Is it a new table entirely?
I think it is a new table, or at least the tabletop is printed out new, I believe.
Okay. New more
layout,
room for more cards?
Yeah.
Or no?
Not yet. I don't think that the window is big enough yet for, like, say, an Omaha or something like that. But interesting, though, anyways, right?
Any poker resolutions for you?
3 players.
Well, I'm trying to resolve to be off of my cold streak for the last 2 months. 3-way action here. Tony TNT there. He's got pocket 9s. And Dell's got top 2 pair, and he's going to bet. So, again, Tony finished 3rd, I think, in a big limit hold'em event at the World Series of Poker. Something like that.
That's why I never raised a pocket 9.
And he'll sometimes play the 20-40 game, Dave. It's always interesting to see these tournament players play cash games.
Yeah, the thing with Tony is, a lot of times people put him in. Actually, Yoshi Nakano often backs him in some of these tournaments.
Wow, really?
And he, when he's running good and has money, he'll play in the 20 game. When he's running bad, he'll see him in the 8-16 or 6-12 game, or he won't play at all.
Right.
Now, he did really well. I'm trying to think of exactly what place he finished. Actually, I want to say 6th place in the limit holding shoot.
I thought it was higher than that. I might be wrong.
Might have been 4th place. Somewhere between 4th and 6th, I'm pretty sure. But either way, obviously, very impressive.
I can see it in your eyes.
Are we having mouse problems?
Yeah. I apologize if we're not going to be able to follow the thread quick, or emails.
Come on, guys.
And this one just looks like it's just going to get checked down. I guess these guys don't play against each other. And Santos looks like it's going to take it down there with the ace-jack.
Take it down, Santos.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Just like that. It looks like we're going to get a new mouse in here, Dave.
Yeah. I tell you, our technical staff is amazing.
Yep. And the
make a deal.
button is going to move over here to seat 7. So we're getting word that TNT finished 4th in that
4th,
event.
okay.
World Series.
Won about 62 grand.
$2,500 limit. So there you go.
What's your decision?
Big blind over there in seat 1.
Now, he's one of those guys, he actually, I think he cashed about 60,000, 65,000, something like that. But like a lot of these tournament players, they are heavily leveraged and backed, and they owe off,
they
old
might
backers and so forth.
play for makeups, right?
Exactly. And before you know it, some of these guys, sometimes they look at it and they go, well, I've only made 13 grand. But they made 11 grand.
Right. Nicole's going to bring this one in for a raise here. She's going to, there was a limper in seat 5, and we got a raise.
With, she raised in the cutoff seat there, so she buys herself the button.
Ace-10 off suit. And the big blind's got ace-jack. But look at this, Nicole hits top pair here.
And she's outflopped him.
10, deuce, 8.
Now, seat number 5, we're going to get his name in a second. I don't think his name's actually 5-, but we're going to find out. He's open-ended here.
Yep, turns a deuce. Ace-10 is still good.
And his name is
Doc. Bet again. Now, Arcady there, he made the call on the flop, Dave, with overcards in the big blind. Now he's out of there. And the river's a jack, and he would have taken... Well, actually, 7-9 makes a straight.
Yeah.
There it is.
Doc gets there.
And Doc is going to bet in, and obviously Nicole's just going to call.
Yeah, actually, Arcady was actually drawing dead because an ace obviously is no good, and the jack's no good.
That's right. Ace would have made Nicole 2-pair, and obviously the jack makes Doc the straight.
Yeah.
The jack on the river at ace-jack.
Oh, you did?
Welcome to the game, Doc, as he hits his open ender.
No, do not. Hey, it's not allowed. It's not allowed on the table.
Yes, I've been, Dave, I've been running as cold, probably the exact opposite of you the last 2 months.
Well, it's a new year.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunately, my first session in the new year didn't go too well either today.
But like we tell everybody, hey, every session is, unto itself. Play one hand at a time.
The funny thing is, when I go on these colder streaks, I almost feel that I'm playing tighter, which I think is better in limit hold'em. Obviously, we have those, that's. I really don't think that as long as you play tight aggressive.
Yeah, if you start playing tight
can't
passive,
play,
obviously.
You almost can't play too tight in limit hold'em.
Raise?
Now we got pocket aces here in seat 1, and he's going to raise it out of the small blind. Look at this. The big blind is going to call with 8 deuce. And Nicole had open limped with the suited connector, and I'll talk about that after this hand, Dave, because I don't really like that limp. But look at the flop.
Yeah, she's hit a
deuce
pair.
5.
She's hit a pair and a flush draw here. Now, Arcady does not have the ace of clubs in his hand, so he can't be that comfortable with the flop.
He bets right out here, and
How does Nicole didn't raise that?
Nicole makes the call.
How does Nicole not raise that?
Well, the turn's a king. Now she really could raise here, Dave.
Oh, that's what you want.
You know what? The funniest thing is that if Nicole raised the flop,
yeah,
she might have. I just don't understand how she doesn't play that hand that way. Now she's going to check and fold. Well, he's going to bet and she's going to fold.
He's going to bet
pay him
here.
Off.
I mean, what can you really beat here? The guy is
well,
raised.
Ace queen.
Yes.
I mean, he's just bet out. I mean, you're not going to put him on a king. You can't beat any pocket pair, really.
Now she's going to call.
She's going to pay him off now.
Well, if you play that hand back in your head, like you said, if you raise the flop and then the turn comes king, I don't know at this level if anyone's going to get rid of aces at that point. But if she plays it, if she raises the turn there.
No, but I just don't believe her if she raises the turn. I go, way, Nicole's, if she had a king, she would have raised the flop. I mean, to me, anybody that's a good limit hold'em player is going to raise me the top pair there. Unless they had a set.
Well, the other thing, too, is I don't like the limp. I mean, she was in mid to late position with 6-5 of clubs. Now, that's a hand I'll play, Dave, in late position if many people have come in before me, or I'll raise with it to try to steal the blinds. I'm not going to open limp in late position with it.
No, I'm with you.
I
mean, there are a few times where I'll wait to the turn to raise against predictable, aggressive players, like, say, like a Grace.
Right.
And we talk about Grace. Grace actually used to work here, but she's super. Everybody knows Action Gracie.
Right.
Super aggressive player. Get back to this in a second.
Now, we had a raise here by ace-queen offsuit Bruce, and Raphael called in the blind. And look at this. Bruce has hit top 2 pair.
You should. That's a give-up hand. I hope I get that when there's 6 more people in there.
And he's going to bet, and he's going to take it down.
Let me
You
beat all the
can
way.
get it, but whether can you flop it again with 6 people there? That's the key.
And there it is.
Take it down, Bruce.
Nice hand there with the ace.
Now, to me, there are sometimes if you get a predictable, aggressive player, even with a hand as weak as, say, King Jack, and the flop comes out like, King 5-3, I will sometimes even wait on the turn to raise that one against a predictable player. Because they could just as easily be betting Jack 8 and almost be drawing dead on me. But in a game like this, pretty predictable like this, if I have top pair, more often than not, I'm going to be raising the flop.
4 players.
Especially in position. And in that case, Nicole's hand was huge. I mean, she had a pair and a flush draw.
We have 4-way action here.
Really surprised the way she played that hand.
6-5-3. Now, Doc has got a pair of 5s, and he's open-ended in seat 5.
That's a nice flop, a 5-4, huh? You're going to be in there with it.
He's going to bet. We're going to see a call over there by Tony TNT. He's got a gut shot and overcards, backdoor diamond draw. Turns a deuce, and Doc makes the straight. And Doc checks it, Dave. And the river's a queen, and now Doc is going to... And now, actually,
All right, let's see.
Tony...
Straight.
Doc bet, and Tony made the call there because he made a top pair at the end. I don't really know what Doc was trying to do there on the turn, but I guess he's trying
probably
to
a
go
little
for the
tricky,
check
little
raise.
check raise, maybe.
Check raise, yeah.
Yeah.
It actually ended up making more money because Tony caught something there on the river. You know, it's funny. I think that Skolansky's book about advanced Hold'em for or Hold'em for advanced players is a great book for limit Hold'em, Dave. I think it's one of the best books out there. One of the things that I disagree with in his book is I think that he says that you should check raise the turn up to, say, 60% of the time with your good hands. My style is more to bet my hands and to check raise a little more occasionally.
Yeah,
than that.
and we see it a lot. We see a lot of check raising.
Right.
And obviously there's some value to check raising because if you check up front, you won't necessarily automatically get somebody to bet.
Right.
I don't know how
They might
you
not
play.
bet if they have no hands.
Right.
So that's the advantage, obviously, of check raising. Obviously, sometimes you get more money in the pot. But you and I often say sometimes betting your hand straight out is the best way to get the most money in the pot if you have a big hand.
Right.
Because you'll bet, an aggressive player will raise you, and then you can get a third bet in there.
Absolutely.
So if it doesn't happen.
So the button's going to move over to seat 5.
Seat 5's got ace 9 on the button. Let's see what he does with this. Well, seat 4 is going to raise with ace 7 in the cutoff seat. And look at Tony, Doc there. Doc let it go. And seat 4, Raphael takes it down.
So some interesting news, Dave.
What's the interesting news?
All day.
Well, you want.
In Live the Bike world.
Yeah?
I believe that Shirley Rosario's last show is going to be tomorrow.
Yes. I actually saw her, I saw her on last Tuesday, right before I flew to New York, and she told me that she was going to resign.
Well, I think
move on to bigger and better things, I suppose.
I think that has a lot to do with the upcoming LA Poker Classic. I
Yeah.
think she wants to play in a lot of those events, and I don't think she would have really been able to do that
Hey, tell Daniel.
with this rigorous schedule, Dave.
Yeah,
as they
exactly.
say.
Well, her passion is the tournaments.
Right.
And she really wants to
explaining to my
concentrate
mom
on tournament
for the
poker.
longest time how to find this website.
And obviously,
And I say more power to her, good luck to her, because obviously that's really where the money is, especially if you're a woman,
TV.
an attractive woman with, what she has going, a website, and people know her, and she
Right.
can build up her.
Yeah.
and if you don't know
her face
Shirley's
value.
website, you can check it out at pokerbabes.com.
Right.
Actually, it's poker-babes.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 10-9-5 here. Now Doc has got ace 10.
Now Santa's got a little piece of it. He's got bottom pair. See if he takes one off here. And he does. And now Doc's got top 2.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Turns an ace. He's going to bet.
And Santos lets it go.
Santos is not going to stick around there
No.
with the 5-6 of clubs. Now, it's also interesting, people always say a lot of times.
Look at Doc's nut.
Get the nut. Dave, this game sometimes can be tougher than, say, a 30-60 game.
Sometimes, yeah.
I find the 30-60 game here at the bike easier than the 20-40. and I've been playing a lot of the 30-60 lately. Just in terms of, you've got guys in there that have, a lot of money, and they're just playing for fun. And you really know exactly where they're at pretty much all of the time.
Well, if you play with the same faces day in, day out, obviously you get to know what's going on.
Right.
It's bad.
So we're looking at a new setup here.
So what do you think about McGinley's post here? Open limping King Jack is weak sauce. Yeah. And we agree. Weak sauce at that.
So what do you think about those Patriots? Speaking of Russ McGinley,
the
playing the Jaguars on Saturday night, prime time, Dave.
Yeah,
Al Michaels and John Madden probably going to be doing.
Yeah, that'll be a big game. Big game. And the Patriots, until they lose in the playoffs, they've got to be considered, the favorites. They haven't. Tom Brady's never lost a playoff game. Let's see what he does.
You don't think that they're the favorites to win the AFC Championship game, do you?
I don't know. But until they lose a game,
it's funny.
They got to be considered a big threat.
It seems like Bill Belichick is a real genius the way that he played out that game. Because if you look at the matchup, the 4 seed was actually probably better for the Patriots than the 3 seed. You look at Pittsburgh's got a real shot at going knocking off Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a little cold right now.
Yeah, well.
And Pittsburgh could really do some damage against Indy, too.
It's tough to evaluate. Oh, look at this. We got a hand going on.
Raise here by seat 9, and we 3-bet there by Raphael, and we're heads up. So Raphael's the 3-better. A limp re-raise, Dave. 6-3-3.
No, pocket queens. I'm just going all in no matter what.
Raphael makes a bet, and Dell calls with the over.
Yeah, and Raphael said he's going all in no matter what. That's what he just said.
Turns a 10, and look at that. Dell hits top pair here, and the river's a 5. And
I knew he was going to beat me.
Queen 10 is going to be good. What do you think about that limp re-raise move? Well, I guess that guy was on a short stack, so he figured,
he just wanted to get all his money in, I think.
This guy. If they had pocket aces, I would have won.
Sometimes you'll see that limp re-raise.
The funny thing is, if he had just called and then bet the flop, and then he might have gotten him up the hand. Who knows?
Right.
Although you never know. Dale might have taken one off no matter what.
And, of course, the Jets won their last game of the season, right? Hurting their chances for that good draft pick.
Yeah, it turned out it wouldn't have made a difference because Houston actually lost to San Fran. Had the Jets lost again, they probably would have the 3rd pick in the draft. If they won, so they got the 4th pick. I mean, whatever.
Button moves over here to seat 8. I don't think Herm Edwards is going to be fired, though, dude.
No, I unfortunately, probably not.
Doc has got ace-queen offsuit. He's going to raise it up here from seat 5. Cold folds. Seat 9 is going to call.
He's got king 8 of diamonds.
I lived there my first year. That's why we got the game started.
And we've got 3-way action.
Raphael's in there with 4-7.
Queen 5-6. Well, Doc has hit top pair. He's going to bet out.
Yeah, Raphael's open-ended here.
Raphael's going to make the call. And look at this. King 8 made the call, Dave. Wow, and he hits an 8 now.
Yeah, but now Raphael's got a straight.
What's Dell doing there on the flop?
I have no idea.
Well, the bet there by Dell actually came out and bet, and I believe that Raphael raised and Doc called. Doc called and Dell called, and the river is a jack.
Yeah, and Raphael's got the best hand here.
See, this is what we're talking about here. Could ace queen ever be good here? When a guy raises that turn that way, you almost got to put him on a minimum of 2 pair, right?
It's funny. Normally, a lot of times, you might just call the turn to keep the guy in behind you.
Right.
But you got called in both spots anyway to raise.
Yeah. Button moves over here to seat 9.
Once again, we are live at the bike, folks. We're back. It's 2006. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. And we're playing 8-16 Limit Hold'em.
Seems like some people, Dave, out there in internet land really enjoyed the LA poker scene that we reran over the past week. People were like, what's the 20-second countdown? Well, that's where the commercials are in the show. We're not going to obviously run commercials on the webcast.
Oh, right.
Yeah. We're going to raise here by
the
TNT.
Poker Channel's got to pay the bills.
Yeah, TNT over there in seat 8. He's got pocket 8s. We got a couple people that are going to call here, seat 2 and seat 9.
And they both have clubs, actually.
Jack, deuce of clubs, and 5-6 of clubs. Well, TNT's staring at 2 overcards, but it gets checked to him, and he's going to bet here, king, deuce, 9.
And it's 2 players. Dell called with Jack, deuce. Okay.
Turns a 7, and it goes check, check, and the river's a 7. And TNT just checks and checks, and pocket eights are good there.
Here, Tony, go. He goes, I got a deuce. A deuce? That's it?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
It's funny. TNT always gets him. I've seen him. I don't think he's ever played on a televised, say, World Poker Tour event. Actually, I know he hasn't. But you know how they do those little specials, like here at the bike, like during Legends. They'll, these little, bumpers coming back from commercial and like interview, say, our marketing director, Kelly O'Hara, or our casino administrator, Evelyn.
Right.
Or
What are you getting at?
The point is that Tony always somehow weasels his way into those bumpers.
Oh,
he always appears.
Well, look at him. He kind of looks like a poker guy. He's got that poker look about him.
Oh, he's got ace-king suited here, and he's going to raise it up out of C8.
And Dell's going to open. He's going to cold call with king 10 off suit. What do you think of that play? I mean, that just is not a winning poker play in limit hold'em.
King deuce 10. Well, he's hit top pair. Actually, he's hit top 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, oftentimes you get yourself in trouble because you hit top pair. But in this case, he's actually hit.
Well, he's going to 4-bet. TNT 3-bet him, and seat 4-bet him.
Well, he's playing straightforward there, huh?
Sometimes, if the guy's going to 3-bet me, I'll wait till the turn to raise. Turn's
exactly.
7. Check call here by TNT.
And is Tony's going to pay him off the entire way? I mean, can your hand be good here?
River's a jack. Wow, and the guy with the king 10 checked it down at the end. Wow, unbelievable. Everyone's always scared of getting check raised on the river, huh, Dave?
Yeah, like what, the jack really helped him? Like, you think Tony was in there the whole time with ace queen? I mean, I guess he made ace queen of diamonds.
Yeah, that's the time there where I guess you can call. I don't know if do you call that a slow play? When I know I have the best hand on the flop, and the guy shows a lot of strength by 3-betting me from up front, and I just call and then raise on the turn. Is that a slow play?
It's not a slow play as much as a strategic way of getting more money in the pot.
Right.
With the best hands.
Right.
Especially when you're playing a guy like Tony, who's pretty ABC.
Yeah.
He raises it up with ace king. The flop comes out king 10 deuce. He bets, you raise. He 3-bets. You go, okay, this guy's probably got ace king or king queen.
Or maybe aces.
Either way, I can beat any of those hands.
Right.
Short of kings.
Now, seat 1's got kings. He's going to raise.
Donation.
Good, I'll take it.
4 players.
4-way action here. So there's 8 small bets in the pot. Deuce 4-6. Well, kings has got the overpair. Now Dell's got deuce 3. We know he's probably not going to go anywhere with bottom pair in a straight draw.
And the backdoor, he got the backdoor spade draw also.
Now we had a bet there by
Dell.
9 and a raise by Arcadia with the overpair. Turns a 5 and there's the straight, Dave.
Yeah, and Arcadia is drawing dead.
And he's going to bet right into it. Now again, this is a situation where I think sometimes you got to figure with your overpair, it might not be good now, but are there situations where the pot would dictate me making a call because I think the guy might have 2 pair?
Yeah, there are times to go for 2 pair. In this case, obviously, once again, we're privy to the information.
Right.
But with a board of 4, 5, 6 deuce, and it's a one-liner to a straight.
Well, look at this. Now they're going to chop it up, right?
Well, that's the perfect card for him.
Yeah.
It's the only card that saves Arcadia.
Yeah.
Straight, 6 high.
Straight on the board.
The savior, the savior.
Well, yeah, I mean, and again, going back to the hand that I had said, that I was trying to figure out if I was going to make my call with aces on the turn, Dave, in that 30-60 game. I knew somebody else was on a flush draw, which means my outs are even more limited to hit 2 pair. And then there's always that chance that the guy has a set, and you're really drawing almost,
Well, that's one of those things. You got to put somebody in a range of hands, and you go, okay, well, maybe 50% of the time he has 2 pair, but you don't know which 2 pair he has, of course.
Right.
Okay, maybe 30% of the time he has a set. And 20% of the time he's bluffing or something like that. Or maybe a top pair, good kicker, who knows. So.
I probably would raise him on the turn with your card.
Look at this. Sickfish71 says, so when is Tuck going to play in the free roll again? I finally got my promo buck. Of course, you can check it out. Go to the www.thebike.com. Check out our free software. We do 5 weekly free rolls a week.
And I'm sure we'll do that again, obviously. That was a lot of fun.
I want rematch.
We had a raise here by seat 1 with king 10 of hearts.
He's got some hands today, huh? Aces, kings, ace king.
And seat 1 3-bet there with ace king.
Come on.
And Bruce had just limped in with ace 10, so I think he's trying to figure out if he's going to call 2 more bets cold here in seat 7.
Look at Bruce, you want me in? Well, with ace 10 he wants you in, of course.
I already saw what you got.
And Dell's in really bad shape, huh?
Yeah.
He's got king 10 of hearts. He needs hearts or straight. That's pretty much it.
Jack 9-4. Well, king 10's got a gut shot.
Yeah.
No one hit a piece of this flop.
No, Arcadia's still in the lead.
And everyone check calls.
More spades.
Oh.
Here we go to the turn. Turns a spade.
Well, that gives Arcadia the nut draw there. He's got the ace of spades
See if
in his
he's going
hand.
to take a card. He's going to bet anyways.
Yeah, bet it.
The funny thing is that these guys really shouldn't call here, Dave.
Well, both this hand should be over right now.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you even call it? Ace 10, with 10 of spades in your hands.
Well, he's not going to call with king 10 now.
8 of diamonds.
It's going to be interesting to see if everybody misses here. The river's a 9.
But this is kind of chopped up here. Look at this. It's 9s and 4s with an ace kicker.
Yep.
Both players have the same hands.
Better ace high.
Yeah, 9s and 4s, ace.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Chop it up.
Now, Arcadia's right. He does have a better ace high, but we don't play 6 cards in Hold'em. We only play 5.
I wanted you out after all.
Well, if the river was a blank that didn't pair the board, I think that would have won just
Here
check.
comes
Check
your
would have went
dead,
down the
sir.
same way, and ace king would have won.
Probably, yeah.
I said I'm dead. I'm happy.
Oh, I thought I said
Didn't look like
you're
Bruce was
dead.
going to fire
Hear
that.
complaint from
Oh, I'm
my
sorry.
friend.
No, I know.
He's the only one that heard a complaint.
I got to say though, on the plane, it was kind of a record for me. I actually slept.
Well, I guess all these
I got
shops
about
are
an
better
hour's
than
sleep last night.
Take
You
it.
know, on the East Coast.
Right.
I took a couple of Tylenol PMs, and I was asleep before we detached from the ramp, and I woke up about 7 hours into the flight.
Tell the coach.
Did you fly first class or something?
I was on the window.
Oh,
I was
okay.
tired. I
Getting
was
in there.
tired. Yeah.
So how was Boston?
Cold.
Yeah.
Cold.
And look at this. Seat 1 has got aces now, I think.
Yep, he does.
This guy, like, what does he have, like an ace in his sleeve or something?
Is it a town somewhere?
I mean, in the last 20 minutes, this guy has gotten like 6 or 7 premium
Out
hands.
of all this shopping.
I mean, if you were to call them like, Sklansky's Category 1 hands.
Well, Nicole's got 6-4 clubs. She's going to call. Bruce has limped into the pocket deuces in early position. He
You're
calls.
not going to get any of
Right,
it.
yeah.
Makes me aggressive.
King, queen, jack with a couple of hearts.
And that's a scary flop for aces, actually.
Well, he
He
does
doesn't
have
get
the-
a 2 pair.
Does have the ace of hearts in his hand.
Right.
I'd feel better about that flop as opposed to 2 black aces. He makes a bet and he takes it
No,
down.
definitely. Obviously, he's got redraw there.
There's
But a lot of
enough-
times somebody calls my raise, I put him on king, jack, queen.
There was another kind of common mistake made in Limit Hold'em, Dave. Unless you're at an incredibly loose passive table, limping in early position with low pocket pairs just doesn't really do it for me in this game.
You don't get enough players. You
Yeah.
really need to see 4 or 5 opponents to make it worthwhile.
Right. And you just don't, obviously you're in first position, so you don't know how the action's going to go behind you.
Right.
You know?
Now, playing those small pocket pairs in late position, you can win, obviously, if you hit your set, but you can also win if everybody checks to you and you
Right.
can take the pot away and you can outplay players.
Or maybe if somebody bets, in late position, you might raise, knock everybody out, and your pair might be good anyway.
Exactly. They're betting with a draw.
Right.
They miss their draw and you get there and you win.
4-way action here, limped around, ace, 10.
Those aces are stuck together, I think.
Everybody checks. The turn's a 6. It's going to be whoever wants this one.
Yeah, Rafael's got the best hand here still, king high.
Well, Dell's going to bet into a flush draw. I like the bet. He's going to take it down.
Well done by Dell.
It's funny. There was an article in Card Player a few issues ago about in low limit Hold'em. I forget who wrote the article. Guy talked about doing the dance in low limit Hold'em, which was basically whenever a pair flopped on the board, you just knew that when somebody raised the turn, they had trips, and if they showed any strength on the flop, they didn't have trips.
Pretty much.
Or
yeah.
a good hand.
Right. And we've seen that in no limit as well, from some of the more predictable players.
Right. Well, open limp here in seat 4, jack 10 offsuit. Now, Nicole's going to call here with a queen 4 of spades. I've done that before on the button, Dave, but I probably needed to have maybe 5 people in front of me instead of just 1.
And now she's got the button, and I guess she figures she can outplay these players and use her position. Let's see.
Queen 5-3, and Dell's got her out kicked. Dell's going to bet. Now, let's see. Is this the type of hand you're looking to hit with queen 4? She's going to raise.
She's going to raise and see where she's at, though.
Dell calls.
2 players.
Let's say she takes the free card on the turn.
Let's see. I think this one might just go bet, check here. Probably check here on the river, I would think, unless someone hits 2 pair. Turns river's 10.
Okay.
Yep. And
And the 7's actually going to play.
7 is going to play.
Yeah, they both have a pair of queens. King 10 and Dell 7 plays.
Go, club.
And that 3 killed her hand,
I
obviously.
mean, sometimes, like I said, Dave, sometimes I might play a king or a queen rag suited on the button for 1 bet. But boy, I got to have a lot of people in front of me, not just one, right?
It's got to be a table that I've really got a nice handle on. You know, if I'm playing with like 4 or 5 big card players, I've got a really good table image where I feel like I can take the hand away. Okay, but queen 4 suited, it's just not something I'm looking to play too much.
No.
In any position. I mean, hey, I'm in the big blind. I mean, I'm in the small blind. I might complete with that.
And I do, you know, one of the other things too. Even some of the better mid-limit players, Dave, that I play with day in day out. A lot of those people that have played, you know, for years and years and years, love to limp in with ace rag suited.
Oh, they'll call raises with ace rag suited
on tough tables too. And I'm just looking, I'm like, what are you really trying to hit? You know.
Yeah, they play ace rag suited out of position, so they'll catch a draw, and then they gotta, like, you know, and they can't get themselves a free card, so they're paying the absolute most to try to hit their draw.
Right.
It's that rush of winning a big pot. You know what I mean? It's like a drug.
Here's a raise here in seat 3. He's got king jack of clubs.
There you go. Limits the field here. TNT's gonna call him, and he's got jack 9.
Jack 10
jack
offsuit
10, okay.
in the small blind. And here we go. We got 3-way action here. Well, TNT's hit the top pair, but Thomas has got him out kicked.
Let's see what happens. Let's see if TNT plays this.
You just check calls. You just check calls.
Problem with that is he has no idea where he's at here.
Turns a deuce.
And that's no help here.
Well, now TNT's going to come out and bet.
Let's see if he gets a raise here from Thomas.
No, he's just going to call.
Well, Thomas is not going to go anywhere, that's for sure.
Well, if TNT checks it here, you got to think King Jack needs to value bet, right?
Oh, definitely.
Well, TNT's just going to bet anyways.
Super.
And Thomas is going to call. Thomas played that hand rather passively.
Well, I mean, I got to be honest with you. Wait a second. They check 2 on the flop, and he bets it, right?
Right.
Then a 2 comes out, and Tony comes out and bets. You only got King Jack.
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting there going, wow, man, okay.
Again,
Kind of an odd way to play the hand.
That might be one of those times, though, like you said, you raise on the turn to see where you're at, and if you get 3-bet, you pretty much kind of know where you're at, right?
You know you're dead, you can throw it away.
Yeah.
And you can get a free showdown, right? Yeah, that's a way to play it without doubt.
Unless you're really up against a passive player that would just call and check the river with a deuce, but again, if you're just going to call anyways twice,
you might as well do that. The only thing in that case, the King Jack has no real draw.
Right. But against a player like Tony, who plays a pretty ABC, I still might bet the river. I might raise the turn and if he doesn't 3-bet me, still bet the river.
I'm surprised the way Tony played the hand. Tony checks and calls and then bets it out.
The only thing that would
throw a raise in there to figure out where you're at.
The only thing that would stop me from betting King Jack there on the river is maybe Tony has Ace Jack. I would be more likely to do with Ace Jack. Now we had a raise here.
Let's take a look.
Seat 3 here is raised with Ace Jack.
Yep. And that actually brings up an interesting hand about calling raises in the small blind that I'll get to after this hand. 4-way action. So 8 small bets in the pot. Queen, 7-5.
So that's already a $64 pot, folks.
We have a bet here by Thomas with Ace Jack and a raise by Raphael with top pair.
And that's pretty basic there.
And 10-7 is in there. He made a 2. Look at this. Ace comes off the turn. Doc called 2 bets cold with a pair of 7s.
And you can't blame Thomas there. When you get called also, a raise and a call, Ace Jack looks pretty bad.
Queen is good. Well, the other thing, though, too, what are you looking to do to lead out with Ace Jack with no draw on that flop with 4 people? Because if you get called or raised, I mean, what are you trying to hit there on the turn?
Right, no, totally. But I mean, I don't mind the bet on the flop, though, because if nobody hit a queen, what are you going to do? If you don't hit your flop, you're just going to check and fold?
Sometimes from early position against 5 people.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
But what I was going to say about Tony TNT there in a small blind, sometimes I got myself caught in situations where, somebody would raise and I might call with King Jack offsuit or an Ace Jack offsuit in the small blind. In this case, Tony did with Jack 10. If I'm not going to call that hand in late position to an early position raiser, why on earth am I going to call it out of position? If I'm not going to call Ace Jack or Ace 10 offsuit, on the button or in the cutoff, why am I going to call it in the small blind?
Now, there's a lot of players in there. Maybe you can make an argument for Jack 10 suited.
Right.
Or if you're in the big blind, you can make that argument.
But I might call Jack 10 suited in late position with a lot of players in there.
Right, but a small blind, no.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that. No. If you see the trouble you get in, you're getting kicker problems. You're not sure what you want to hit.
5-way action here. I believe Thomas raised.
Oh, this time he hit his ace. He's got ace-jack again.
He bets.
Go to the bathroom, deal me.
Doesn't look like anyone really can call here at all. Wow, Doc called with 7-8 of clubs.
This game, like, 2...
Oh, there, look. He's got runner-runner possibilities here. Come on.
No, same.
I mean, you look at this, and sometimes when you get beat here on the river, like if an 8 or a 7 come, you just look and you're like, wow. And look at this, it's an 8.
That's
Oh, my goodness.
And is he going to raise?
I think that Thomas actually checked the river. And Doc bet. And now, I mean, again, Thomas is going to do that stare. It's like, how do you call the flop? Are you kidding me?
Jason, all the way in. Love it.
Well, hey, you know what? In the end, I mean, like I try to tell people, a lot of people here are playing for fun. They come here, they're recreational players, they're not professionals. So hey, as long as it's his money, it's his chips.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants to do is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it does make you shake your head though when you look at it and going. You know, sometimes you guys are flush draw and he backs into 2K or something.
Yeah.
You go, okay, well, what are you gonna do? A flop like that, ace 10-3, 1 club, and he's got 7-8 of clubs. You're going, what are you in there with?
Right.
That's brutal.
Perfect timing. I called it for the hell of it.
Call here. Nicole's going to come in and call.
Family flop, perhaps?
Now, Nicole Lim's in middle position with the suited connector here. And there's going to be a raise by seat 9 with pocket 8s. In the cutoff. Gets himself the
Play
button.
with trash, win the cash.
I love big hots. Do it.
Here we go.
Cards, be alive.
6 way.
6-way action, double-sized bet. So it's about a $96 pot here. Dell in seat 9 is the original raiser with pocket 8s. Jack 6.
Well, this is Bruce's flop trips. Let's see if the
But Doc is
slow
going to
plays it.
bet here with king 10.
Well, let's see if Bruce slow plays it, and
Yeah.
he just calls.
Yeah, he just calls. See, for example, Dave, betting out here with king 10. I mean, is this really the type of table where everyone's just going to fold? Do you know what I mean? The turn's a 4. He's going to bet again.
He's going to try one more time.
And now the jack is going to raise.
Pretty predictable, huh?
Yep.
Now Doc's got to look at his hand and go, wait a second. I don't have anything.
Well, he's drawn dead.
Yeah. Take it down, Bruce.
The announcer?
Bruce takes it down. Yeah, the other funny thing that we were emailing back and forth, Dave, about obviously the upcoming show on GSN, High Stakes Poker.
Yeah.
Kind of the show that's going to be doing cash games. You know, almost like our show. They're doing 300, 600 limit, but obviously the hands are edited.
Yeah, it's not live. It's not live or unscripted.
Dave, the host of that show is AJ Benza. Are you kidding me? E-Mysteries and Scandals?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of E-Mysteries and Scandals, okay? I mean, I don't know why you keep dumping on it.
Good old AJ Benza and Gabe Kaplan.
Your name is Mondays?
Yes. All day.
Hey.
Mark and Nico.
Gabe Kaplan, too, right?
Raise.
Doc is going to raise here. He's got King Queen offsuit under the gun. Nicole's going to smooth call with King Jack suited. And most of the kings, the queens, and the jacks are all dead.
Yeah, a lot of Broadway out there, huh?
3 bets.
And C2 is going to 3-bet with King Jack offsuit on the button. Wow.
Me too. More play.
Good luck, man.
We got 4-way action.
Go all in one.
It's interesting now. If everybody misses, which is definitely possible, they'll that out there. See if C2 can take it away. And there, sure enough, there's the ace that nobody wants to see.
And no one has it.
Remember.
And Doc is going to come out and bet.
Now, you wonder if Santos can throw in a little raise here. Obviously, he doesn't know.
3 player 1 all in.
And actually, you know what? I believe Santos all in here, Dave. Santos is all in. He's got the nut club draw. But Doc still has the best hand here with King Queen high.
Yeah.
The river's a 4, and King Queen's going to win it.
Take it down, Doc. He's got the nut no pair.
And that's good.
Ace, king, queen beats ace.
Like I said, Nicole had the King
There you
Jack, he had
go.
the King Queen, the other guy had the King Jack.
Doc shows off his nuts again.
There's the nut.
A 1 card straight, yeah.
Nut. Nut no pair.
So what'd you do New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, I was actually in Maine with some of my extended family.
In Maine?
Yeah.
What part of Maine?
Augusta area.
Okay. Was that near your home where you grew up? Or no,
no. That
Okay.
was where my mother grew up back in the day.
Okay.
And unfortunately for me, and it was really painful, on Saturday the Travel Channel repeated the Battle of Champions and the Ladies' Night event. So my relatives were watching it.
Oh,
Like, look
okay.
at little Barney in the background. Oh my God! Please, someone kill me. See, poor raised here.
He's raising out of a small blind with Ace Jack.
Was there an open limp here on the button?
Yeah, exactly.
Queen 3 off suit. Queen 3 suited. So three-way action.
And Doc is going to call in the big blind.
All spades, King 10-4. See, you know, if you're going to play Queen 3 to open on the button, wouldn't you raise there or fold? That's
See,
what
this is
Cam's
to me.
talking
This is
about.
where this is the reason why even in a flop like this, if you have Ace Jack, you bet it. Because now you checked and you give it away to Thomas.
Check, check here, and the river's a spade.
Yeah.
Raphael
Have a
checks
jack
the
of spades.
jack of spades, and it goes check, check. And there was no way Thomas could win that
Wish I
hand.
could call my
So it's
dad.
big partying in Maine,
So
Augusta?
early there, though? Like 5 a.m.
Party
No-
down?
Not really.
No. Okay.
We actually play a little home game poker.
Did you?
Yep.
Wow.
I gotta tell you, an interesting game. I'm not a huge fan of
It's like 5 a.m.
stud
5:30.
high because
Right.
I just think it's kind of a boring game. But if you play stud high with one specific wild card, like say
We're in Russia
the
right now?
lowest spade up wins the hand at showdown.
In Russia?
So there's one wild card for everyone. Not everyone has a wild card, but just one wild
Oh, just
card.
one wild card, not
Lowest
okay.
spade up or highest diamond in the hole, and you play it as a split pot game. You can play it as,
Right,
a,
right.
as a wild card or a split pot game.
Yeah.
Now I was trying to explain to them
Game
that
called Black Mariah, actually,
Yeah.
that game. Where highest spade in the hole gets half the pot.
well, the only problem with that is if you look at it, it's if you pick up the highest spade, you're basically on a free roll.
Exactly.
And the whole nature of split pot games is to try to win scoop pots. So you should never really play the hand unless you had the highest spade in the hole, right? Pretty
Properly,
much.
yeah, properly, unless you've got, like, a jack, a queen, a king,
Right.
or an ace of spades, there's really no reason to continue at the hand.
King. Thomas raised here pre-flop with ace queen. And the flop comes king deuce 6. I think Thomas is let out here. And Bruce is going to call with a backdoor spade draw.
And
on seat
Arcadia's going to
7.
raise it up here.
Well, he's got king queen.
Yeah.
And Doc called with ace jack on that flop. Sometimes these guys just can't get away from good hands.
He
that-
called 7-8 before. You don't think he's going to call ace jack here?
Turns a 10.
Well, that gives Doc a gut shot straight draw as well as the ace out. So Doc's got a queen or an ace would give him the win.
Well,
And Bruce is actually drawing dead.
well, Bruce is out of there. Arcadia bets and Doc calls.
Okay.
So Arcadia does not want to make two pair here. Well, the river's an
Oh.
ace. Oh, man.
And Doc's going to win this one with a pair of aces.
And I think that did Arcadia he bet the river, and Doc called. So Arcadia thought he was making a value bet. Maybe the guy had a win king, figuring how does that ace help me? The only problem is that I don't know if I would bet ever on the ace on the river because if the guy's on the nut flush draw, Dave,
He might have
Yeah.
backed into the ace,
Yeah.
exactly.
I guess it depends. I mean, if I'm a pretty
If you
big-
think you're going to get paid off by a 6
Yeah.
or a weaker king,
I'm a pretty big proponent of value bet the
Yeah.
river. Of course, you got to, that formula in your head. If you're going to bet, you need to be called by hands that you can beat over, 50% of the time, right?
yeah, I'm not sure exactly the percentage. Is that what they've come up with? 50%?
Well, I mean, that's what I've come up with. You need to, in order for that to, to be of positive expected value, you need to
Right,
bet
yeah,
and
obviously,
get
yes.
called by hands that don't.
Yeah, and most people will check. It's funny, though. Even in that case, I would bet it.
What I mean is, if you're betting, you need to be, when you're called, you obviously need to win more than 50% of the time. That's
Right.
that's what I meant.
What player?
Four-way action here. Button raise, free flop. That's seat 5. Dockie's got ace jack off suit. Queen 6-6 here, and
Well-
Raphael's got trip 6s, and so does Dell. And it gets, of course, checked around a dock. And the 2 6s thinking they're slow playing
Yeah.
check call here.
And look
Dave.
at Raphael just toss the 4 chips in there like it was, whatever.
Turns a 9. Raphael's got a flush draw now. And now Dell's going to come out and lead.
And here's the...
Raphael just calls.
What?
Wow. Talk about just slow playing it. Slow
Well, you know
playing.
what? You might get a raise on the river. Let's see what happens.
Well, the river's a king and he fills up now. And now Raphael's going to raise the river.
I got a full house. 6 is full of kings.
Oh, you're kidding me.
There it is.
How did you get that other 6?
Wish I had 6-9.
That's an
my
interesting way
favorite
that
hand.
Dell played it. I mean, you check call the flop and then you just lead out in the turn. Maybe he was hoping somebody could raise there and then you 3-bet.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at the way Raphael played the hand. Well, if he raised the turn, you know, maybe someone with 6-5, the guy in seat 9, he's pretty fast, and he probably wouldn't have 3-bet. But if he had raised right away on the flop, you might get a check raise by 5-6 on the turn, and you can 3-bet. Because no one ever expects you to have to raise with trips on the flop.
No,
that's
no,
the whole idea of it.
It's interesting. Dell actually goes, "Oh, how did you get that on the river?" The king, as if he needed the king. Now back to your value betting. I wanted to say, obviously, yeah. If you're value betting, you have to be called and win more than 50% of the time for it to be, you know, profitable.
Right.
I think if you were to count the many times that you value bet in the river, it would be more like 90%.
Right.
Closer to.
What? How many times are you going to get called by a worse hand?
Called by worse hand.
5-way action here, limped around, 7-7-4.
But it's very rare that I'm betting on the river, and I get called, and I don't think I had the best hand.
Right. Unless you're bluffing.
Well, yeah, in that
Right.
case.
We had a bet there by Doc. See, here's a great example, Dave. He's got pocket deuces. He limbed in after 3 people had called, and he's in late position. He didn't hit his set, but it got checked when he bet, and he took it down.
Exactly.
That's a obviously, you're not going to necessarily lead out with pocket deuces into, say, a 5-way field with that flop. Or if you do and you get called in several spots, you have no idea where you're at. And that's the difference.
Well, the problem is at a game like this where people are calling with, you know, king 10,
Overcards,
ace jack,
right.
and you don't know,
Right.
does the guy have a 7, does the guy have a 4,
Right.
or are my deuces still good?
And again, if somebody raises the flop, you probably put him on a 4, right? Not a 7.
Yeah. Or you put him on an overpair even.
Right, right.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, the interesting thing also about value betting is, actually I'll get to this in a second.
Pots limped around your 4-way action. 9-7 deuce here with a couple of hearts. It looks like just a couple people have pair of deuces there, Dave.
You know, Raphael's got him out kicked.
A bet and a call, and it was Doc. Doc's bluffed a lot. Now Doc gets a pair of 4s. Doc's really been betting a lot of flops when he's had nothing.
Now Raphael's picked up the nut flush draw. Well, not nut flush draw.
Second nut.
As far as this is, and
Well, now
there's
he's
a
got
king.
2 pair. And now he's going to bet, and Raphael's going to pay him off there with the ace-4. Now, I don't know what Doc's laughing about, because he bet the flop and picked up the best hand on the turn. So,
well, it's funny. It's that selective memory of poker players. You know, he'll remember that as a bad beat. I can't believe this guy got a king. I mean, he's going to go up, get up, and go talk to his friend. Tell him about it.
Yeah.
Man, this guy had like, what, 2 outs? And in reality, he had more like 15 outs or 13 outs.
Wait, he had the club
I
draw
know.
as well.
It's easy, that's why. I'd play that anyway. It's no World Series of poker.
You can play whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah, but then you're right. He's talking to his friend there.
Without a doubt. I mean, he's going to talk about the bad beat he just got.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't remember the 7-8 that he gave Thomas before. Called runner, 2 pair.
Raise.
We got a raise here.
I'm in it for half, might as well.
Raised by Doc. He's got king 10 offsuit.
I'll gamble.
And, you know, Raphael's got him dominated again here. He's got king jack.
5-way action here.
The king comes out. Let's see what happens. Oh,
9-7-8 here with a couple of hearts. And
well, TNT's got top pair, huh?
well, Santos flopped the straight. He bet. Raphael called, and Doc raised here. He's open-ended. He's got the 10 of hearts. Raphael's got the second nut flush draw on seat 4. And look at Dell. He's got a pair, and he's open-ended.
3 bets.
And Santos is going to jam it here, Dave. Obviously, this hand's very vulnerable, right?
Yeah, you definitely want to jam this, obviously. You
Do
got
you
people with hearts
sometimes
out
look
there.
for a safe card here on the turn before you jam it?
Not really in limit hold'em as much, to be honest with you.
And that's a safe card.
That's a great card.
High blank, right?
Yeah.
You're looking for a high blank.
That's a great card.
And he's going to bet again.
You don't want to see a jack. You don't want to see...
A 10, a jack, a 6,
yeah,
or
I'd rather
a
see a
heart.
10 than a jack. But
Oh, and look at that, a jack of hearts. That's just got to be the worst. I mean, you
Right.
can almost safely check fold here, right? With
that's
6-5.
got to be the worst card in the deck.
You check. You got a bet and a caller. Can you overcall here with 6-5? Anyone with the 10 has you, and anyone with hearts has you. I mean, this is the time where you can really fold here, right?
Yeah, I mean...
Wait a minute. Santos check raised. He's check raised the river.
Like
possibly representing hearts here, Dave.
Yeah, but I mean, Doc's not going to go anywhere.
Doc's
though.
not going to lay this down. There's no way.
I don't think Doc can't re-raise though.
Why you play the game? You can't beat it.
And it's one of the reasons why you almost would rather see a 10 there is the likelihood of somebody being in there with a gut shot and a jack are less likely than somebody being in there with a 10. Two cards you don't want to see, but pretty much a 6 and a jack.
Well, but if a 10 comes, anyone there with a 6 would have made it too.
Right.
Doc calls, and I guess Santos was just trying to play. I just don't buy it from Santos. Again, if you replay the hand, what is he jamming the flop with? 3 bets. Maybe a flush draw, but I just...
Oh, my flush was good.
Doc is going to take it down there. I was going to say, Santos can pretty much safely check fold here, right? To a bet and call.
Yeah, it's a bad card. I mean, the only
Worst
thing...
card.
I mean, it's a matter of, sometimes it's a matter of pot odds in the sense of, how often do I have to be right? How often do I have to be bluffed out to make this profitable? And if maybe one time out of 10, the guy actually has ace-jack, well, then you can go, okay, well, I'll pay him off. But yeah, but more often than not, obviously, you're going to be beating that spot.
We got an email here. Of course, you can email us at live@thebike.com. John Falkenthal, he says... We're all watching here at Never Win Poker. So we'll send a shout out. Hello, everyone.
Shout out.
And he also commented about the fact that Daniel Negreanu has played a gentleman online the last few nights at 500, 1,000 limit hold'em, Dave.
Really?
I haven't gotten a chance to look at it. That's actually on Daniel Negreanu's site, I believe. Contact
cool.
Poker. 4-way action here, limped around. 8-4-3.
I want to say seat 4 as the best hand here, huh?
Well, we got a bet and a couple of callers. Turn is a 6. Seat 5 there, bet with 6-7. He had a gut shot. He picked up a pair now.
Yeah, I think he does have the best hand now.
And now Santos actually let out on the turn because he's got a straight, and the river's an 8. Santos bets again. And Doc makes the call there with second pair. And you got to think, maybe Doc's going to think that he has a bad beat again, Dave. But Santos made a straight when he made a pair on the turn.
Right. Although Doc had him with 7-6 high.
Right, on the flop, right?
Yeah.
Best 10 on the flop, 10-4. Best 10.
And, I got to be honest, the last 5 days, you and I have been on vacation. And I'm not sure about you, but I kind of took a vacation from poker. I'm a big advocate for that. I tell people, I go, you know what, get away from it for a couple of days and then come back refreshed. But I'm a little bit out of it in the sense of, I wasn't even aware that Daniel Negreanu was doing a heads-up match with somebody. And so it might take me another day to get back into the full swing of things. Hope you're all patient.
You're a little bit mentally slow.
Well, I'm always a little mentally slow, but today's extra slow.
Tony TNT there is going to raise it up. He's got an ace-6 offsuit. Probably making a blind steal. Small blind calls and the big blind calls. Here we go.
Well, he's got the best hand, but ace-6, ace-ragged. I mean, especially when it's ace-6 offsuit. One of my least favorite hands.
Look at this. Doc leads out with nothing again, and Tony raises. How can Doc call here with Jack-7?
Doc pretty much bets out every flop. Have you noticed that?
How can he call with the Jack-7? Tony Tien's good right now with ace-6. Turns a 7, Dave. Check call. And let's see what Tony's going to do here on the river. I mean, this is almost comical. The river's a 10. And it's a diamond, and Doc's going to bet. Tony folds. Jack-7.
Well, it's funny. Doc likes to bet. I mean, Doc literally will bet every single flop.
That's what it looks like. Usually you don't see players like that, kind of crazy, wild, aggressive at this level.
No, a new player.
I mean, sometimes people talk about
being aggressive at higher limits, obviously.
Right.
But
like
even some of these lower levels, hey, sometimes you get these guys who are normally playing 20-40 or 15-30, and they get down to the 8-16 level. They go, I'm going to play it really aggressive. I'm going to outplay these guys.
Sometimes they talk about that wild and crazy 40-80 game at that other casino, Dave. You know, people just betting and jamming with absolutely nothing. But usually I don't see that at this level.
No. And they got to chop it up. Actually, no, I'm sorry. TNT actually stole it there with the race.
And look at the chip stack in front of
Doc.
Again, he's one of these players that's taking up 2 seats with all his chips there. He's got the nut in the middle.
And each one of those chip stacks is probably $40, folks.
I think
$2 chips.
The ones there on the left, from our perspective, are probably a bit more than
yeah, maybe
20
$50?
chip stacks. Yeah.
$60, okay.
Yeah.
You're straddling.
Do it blind.
Fine.
It's even better that way. I'm sorry. It's,
He didn't say anything.
There it
You
is.
didn't say
yeah, I
anything.
know. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Do you look at the card?
That
Do
button?
you look at the card? Yeah. No.
Well, here's the issue,
Can't be
Dave.
that-
The
can't be
button
that button.
is in seat 5. The guy in seat 5 didn't say to deal him in, so you're not supposed to deal the button in
Right.
when they're not in the hand. The
I knew
button
I was
actually moves.
Yeah, and I
So
gotta be
that's a
honest.
misdeal.
To me, I mean, I personally don't like that rule. I know they do it at most casinos.
Yeah.
But to me, if you pay your blinds, I think you should get dealt all the way around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing, too, is most of the time people that understand this game, you can always say, deal me in, and then leave, because the jackpot possibility.
Right,
as
but you
well.
only get dealt in one hand.
Right.
Even here, you know what I mean? I think if you pay your blind, you're entitled to all 6 or 7 hands after that until your next blind.
What's going on?
Okay, then he take a blind.
I want to say Happy New Year to all of you watching us, listening to us. Everybody at 2+2, and
Is it up to me first? Is it up to me
Yeah,
first?
that's you.
So we got a
new
new
player
player there in seat 9. That's Brian. We remember him from the Heads Up competition.
Yeah, Brian McCann. Brian's also a tournament player.
Now, Nicole is raised here with ace-7 of hearts on the button, open raise. And somebody made it 3 bets. I think it might have been Bruce with king-queen suited in seat 7. And Brian called 3 bets cold in the blind with ace-9 offsuit. Wow. 10-7-6. Nicole's got
Did
a
he
pair.
really? I mean, he happens to actually have the best hand there, but he called 3 bets cold, ace-9 offsuit.
Now, Bruce bet out. Brian called. Nicole raised. And the original better folded. And Brian called with the gut shot. Brian checks. Nicole bets with ace-7 here. Actually, you know, I really actually like the play by Bruce, Dave, in the small blind. I think if you're going to play a hand against what you think is a button steal, and you really think you have the best hand there, with, say, with a king-queen, even though people say, well, king-queen suited, you're always supposed to smooth call. Well, in that situation, why not just take control of the pot? I don't mind that 3-bet at all.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great play. I mean, if Nicole doesn't hit her 7 there,
Yeah.
he bets out, he probably wins the pot with king high.
Right. Especially against a tight player. Nicole's not going to peel off for overcards that she doesn't necessarily know are good.
Right.
And remember, a lot of people are going to raise up on the button with any ace, so if it's ace-rad and they don't hit the flop, they're not even peeling for overcards. They're just peeling for an ace, and they're not usually going to just blindly call the flop, right?
Well, not a rational player, no.
Yeah.
My crap. It's crap.
That's why it's one of my least favorite hands in Limit Hold'em, Dave, ace-rag.
Yeah, ace-rag,
It's
it's very little value.
Yeah.
And some people say, well, ace-rag is better than king-queen, isn't it? Not really,
No.
because you have less cards to hit that will most likely
Right.
be top pair on the
Right,
board.
right,
And if you hit your ace, you still don't even know if you're good.
right.
Erase. 1 foot.
The raise here,
On the money line. Good bet.
I believe it was by Santos.
The Hold'em, and especially Limit Hold'em, is game of kickers.
I believe Santos raised out of the blind here with ace-jack.
Well,
And
he
he
flopped
flopped
it.
straight.
Yeah, there you go.
And Brian's going to bet right out here with king-9. He's got
Yeah,
top
well,
pair.
Brian has bought in for $250, and I think he's doing his very best to try to get rid of it as quick as possible.
Well, Santos just
To
called.
win. The
And
under
Bruce called.
And the Browns to win. I
Turn
put
is an 8.
100. They give me 13.55.
Now Brian's going to bet
on
out
that
here.
bet. Yeah.
Now, this is curious. Now, do you raise here?
I couldn't believe. I just had a. I felt
Personally,
lucky.
I would have raised the
I
flop.
just felt lucky that day.
That's just how I sometimes play. Now Bruce is going to fold because I don't necessarily why give somebody kind of a free ride to chop my pot up.
Well, for the
Do you see
Patriots,
Bruce there? Bruce was like,
yeah,
he was
I
like
picked the Patriots to
sighing.
win that
And
game
Brian,
also.
well, he folds.
We all
Obviously, he
gamble
knows
then.
that king-9 is probably not going to be good
He
there.
laid it down there.
Yeah.
Live in Las Vegas.
So do
Sometimes
you
I-
raise the flop there?
Well, I probably raise the flop, but sometimes I actually, instead of raising the turn, I'll wait to raise the river. And I'll let, because I don't want to let Brian off the hook. It's like I got a fish on the hook there,
right.
you know, and I don't want to let him off the hook. I'm going to make him bet one more time because Brian will probably bet the river as well, and then I can raise him.
Well, a lot of times, though, people will shut down, though, with mediocre hands on the river from up front.
Okay, well then he checks, and I.
Do you
and
think
I,
that Brian would have bet the river there with King 9 if everyone called again? Say
I don't,
the
I don't
deuce had
know.
come?
I'm not 100% sure. But sometimes you let him off the hook. I mean, because you think about it, Brian didn't call the raise at all, so you only got one big bet in there. And you know if Brian checks the river and you bet it, you know he's going to call.
Tony posted dead here in seat 8, and he's got ace-queen. He's probably going to raise, I would imagine. Open raise here.
I actually read somewhere that's a big proponent of raising when you have dead money in a cutoff seat. When let's say you post behind the button,
Yeah.
raising with almost any 2 cards. Because more often than not, you will buy yourself the position, you'll buy yourself the button, and especially if you're open, you know, if you're the opening bet.
Well, I think I got into this discussion with you before. Sometimes I think that if you've posted dead and you have a crappy hand, but you're in position, and say that there's a raiser and a couple of callers, you can almost call with any 2 cards. Which in essence is the extra bet. Because
Right.
the pot is laying you so much odds and you have position. It's unlike the blinds, obviously, where you're
You're out
in
of
worse
position.
position. Yeah.
I have to wait till the end.
But I'm a big fan of. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I post in the cutoff seat and 3 or 4 player and everybody else folds and I'm the first person into the pot, I will sometimes raise, buy myself the button, and just hope to outplay the players in the pot.
And you call.
And Nicole's raised, and she claims she raised blind.
First time everyone's talking about it, no one's doing it. I thought I'd show you how it's done.
Now she has 7-6 of spades. I think maybe she's trying to loosen up the table.
Come on, make some action. Call.
She's calling for action.
No, I don't. Unless I can see through these cards. It's probably 2-3.
And
8 bets.
and wow, and look at that. Interesting, Brian, with a hand where you'd think you'd want to see multi-way pot, he 3-bets it with 8-9 of spades. And Raphael's got 10 of spades, and he's in there also. And, you know, Nicole asked for action, and she's got it.
When can I look? Can I look now?
5 ways, capped
No,
around.
don't look for someone bets.
Okay.
And this is an 8-16 game, folks, so we're talking 8-16,
I'll check. I don't know
$32 times 5 people, $160 pot to the flop. Flop is King, King, 8. Nobody has a... Actually, wow, look at Santos. Santos is flop to full house.
Yeah, king you raise.
But I'll call one time.
Wow.
Just for fun.
And Nicole, she just calls one time just for fun. And she's drawing dead here, pretty much. Well, there you go.
Check.
There's a queen. That helps nobody. And Santos has got this hand locked up. Nobody can beat him. I don't know if anybody actually could have even beaten him on the flop. I think Doc, I guess, named runner, ace, could have beaten him. And everybody folds there. And Santos takes down what is a pretty big pot there on the turn. Takes down about a $200 pot.
No, you flop a full house. You flop a full house.
Just like that, the nature of kind of mid, small, limit hold'em play is you don't have to win that many pots. You win 1 or 2 big pots, and you can almost win a whole rack. And that's pretty much one rack right there that Santos won.
Eventually I'm gonna win, right? They don't make
I didn't really think anybody. I had the king as well.
Once again, we're live at the bike, folks. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hanson, playing limit hold'em. Blinds are 8 and 16. Happy New Year, everybody. And the button is in seat 3. Small blind is Raphael. Big blind is Doc.
Dave, you know what we used to call New Year's and St. Patrick's Day as bartenders?
Oh, amateur night?
Amateur night.
Yeah.
Raise here on seat 1, pocket 10s. Well, I can't imagine Doc's just going to fold to 1 raise here from what
No,
we're seeing.
no, of course not.
He's got 4 or 5 offsuit. He's going to make the call.
You might even 3-bet that.
And here we go. I think he checked blind here. And here we go with mistake begets mistake. Doc might stay in this hand for the whole way. He's hit middle pair. And actually, he check-raised.
He
and
check-raised.
Arcadia 3-bet. Turns an ace. And now, really, where is Doc at? Is he going to call the whole way down here?
And sometimes at the time where if I'm arcade, sometimes I just call the raise and
Right.
I pop him on the turn.
River's a 7.
And is he going to call the... No, he's not going to call.
Arcadia bet again here with pocket 10s. figuring that Doc probably check raised with some piece of that flop, right?
Yeah, I hope he did.
Yeah. And it's a value bet here on the river.
And that's a great value bet. A lot of times people get scared. They go, maybe I'll just... Well, and also, I was getting back to the value betting from before. If you always value bet the river, people don't pick up on certain things like, well, wait a second. This guy only bets when he's either got a monster or he's bluffing.
Right.
He never really value bets his kind of marginal hands. So maybe he's bluffing here. But if you're always betting, it's harder to figure out when you are bluffing.
Right.
And that obviously does pay off if you're playing against players that are paying attention.
What is this?
Buttons in seat 4 here. Again, you can email us at livethebike.com or follow a thread. Just go to the liveatthebike.com spelled out and get links to where some internet threads go on. And the email is live@thebike.com. Limped around here, 4-way action. The $32 pot. Queen, Jack 8. Bruce has got King, Queen here in seat 7. He's going to lead out.
Yeah, top pair, good kicker. Brian's got second pair, but he's in a lot of trouble here because he shares a king.
He raised it. I almost like that better than smooth calling. But King, Queen's going to 3-bet here.
He 3-bets it. You can almost throw it away.
Yeah, let's see here what happens on the turn.
I mean, King, Jack, not much of a draw there for you either.
Oh, look at that, though. Jack comes on the turn.
Yeah, what do I know?
And Bruce is going to lead here again. And Brian's doing a little acting job here, it looks like. I mean, there are so many times, Dave, against non-tricky opponents, and I don't think that Brian's a tricky opponent, where you know that King-Queen isn't good here. I mean, the nature
and
of the
look at that, and Bruce laid it down. Nice lay down by Bruce.
The nature of the hand changes. You 3-bet the guy, and you know sometimes, like we talk about, Dave. Well, if someone's got a really strong hand and you're in position, and you get 3-bet, let's say that Brian had flopped a set there, bottom set, and the guy bet it with King-Queen. I raised, and he 3-bet. Well, okay, I'm going to call and raise the turn. Well, if you've got King-Queen, and you 3-bet, and the guy called, and now you bet, and he raises the turn, you can almost easily muck King-Queen against non-tricky opponents.
It's a great laydown by Bruce, and the reason he was able to make the laydown was because he bet the turn.
Right.
Too often we see passive players, a scary card comes out like a jack there on the turn, and he goes, oh, well, I'll check it and just call him down the whole way. Instead of betting it, get raised, and then throw your hand away. You actually save yourself one big bet.
Right.
Oh, boy.
It's a much better option than checking, calling, and then checking, calling. Save yourself $16. Or 8 chips. You know, 8 chips in a 40-80 game is a lot of money.
Brian made a raise here. He's got Big Slick. C3's got Big Slick as well. C3 just calls, but C4 is 3-bet. We don't know what he has over there. So again, seat 4 there, that's Raphael.
Now, Doc is on the button. He's got no money invested whatsoever. He's got 9-7 offsuit, and he's having difficulty getting out of this.
And he's going to call it with 3 bets. And Raphael 3-bet with ace-6 offsuit.
But would you rather 3-bet with ace-6 offsuit or call 3 bets cold with 9-7 offsuit?
Well, the chances are this flop is not going to hit the aces. 3 of the aces are dead. Santos in there with pocket 8, so here we go. 5-way action, 15 small bets. The flop comes out 9-5-3, and it looks like Doc has the best hand with 7-9.
But Brian's going to bet it.
And Santos here, I believe, raised with pocket 8s. Oh, no, he just called. And now the button is going to raise. So Santos did not raise with 8s.
I mean, Raphael even raised it with 8-6.
Isn't that pretty much a cut and dry raise fold with pocket 8s when next to act? Wouldn't you think?
Definitely. You don't want those overcards in there. You want to charge diamonds.
Turns a 4.
Well, now Raphael's picked up a straight draw, and he's not going to go anywhere.
Brian checks.
If you have ace-king here, it's pretty safe to get away from the hand.
Gets checked around to Doc. He's going to bet.
And if you're Brian, you can get rid of ace-king pretty easily, and he does. And Santos, he doesn't really know where he's at, to be honest with you.
Santos called. And it just, with pocket 8s, it's a really passive way to play this board here, Dave. And the river is a 10.
Doc's hand is good.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And he's going to bet it here at the end. And Santos is going to call, I'm sure. And 7-9 is good there.
Look at that. You look at it, Doc wins a huge pot with 9-7 offsuit. Calls 3 bets cold and wins it.
Now that might be a time there, Dave, on the river with 4 people. Even though the pot is real, 4 people there. I probably would not bet 9-7 there.
Why not?
On the river.
I got to be honest with you.
Because again, the formula though, I don't think that I can get called by a hand that's not going to necessarily beat me more than 50% of the time against 4 people. Remember. Now in this case, that was the situation.
A lot of people get real desperate when they look at it and they go, oh, I know my hand can't be good, but the pot's so darn big. Okay, I'll call you in my pocket 5s.
So you're saying you're more aptly to bet value bet big pots because you can get calls by weaker hands just because.
Usually sometimes people call in with ace high.
Yeah,
the pot's
because the pot's so big.
They don't want to let it go. Get Brian in the box now. New dealer. Button is in seat 6. Nicole, we get a little raise here from Doc's going to raise it up with ace-6 offsuit, one of our least favorite hands, right? Buys himself the button, though. And but TNT Tony's going to call him. And he's got 9-10 suited.
See, that's a hand there in the small blind that I probably either would play as a 3-better or most likely not play at all. Now the flop comes ace-king-9 here.
Yeah, and some people might say you're passive there, and the big blind's a different case, but you really want to put 1.5 bets in there with 9-10 suited out of position with only one opponent.
Now Tony check raised, and Doc 3-bet turns a queen.
Yeah, and Tony does not have a spade in his hand, so this is pretty much going to be a check bet.
He's going to call. He called him the whole way, and the river's a spade. And Doc is just going to show it down here, and the ace is good. I guess Tony just didn't believe that he had any part because he'd been bluffing the whole time. But
yeah.
Sometimes you just got to look at the board and be like, wow. I mean, what is the guy bluffing with, though? You know, the nature of the board might be that he just happens to hit something that's better than my hand because of what the texture of the board is.
Coming up.
Dude, we just had a setup like...
Looks like we're going to see a new setup here.
And Doc has definitely been a big winner tonight so far, huh?
I think one of the easiest value bets that sometimes are missed, and I see it again even at higher levels, is say you raise pre-flop, Dave, and you're driving the hand. There's maybe 2 or 3 or 4-way action, and you hit second pair. You know, with a high kicker, like an ace-jack or a king-jack. I had this hand happen this afternoon. The flop came queen-jack rag.
Right.
I bet with my ace-jack. There were a couple clubs on the board. You know, 3 people called. The turn was a blank. Got checked to me again. I bet with my ace-jack again. Everybody called. Now, if the river had been a blank, I probably might have checked it down, fearing that maybe somebody had a weak queen in the blinds.
Right.
But the river was a queen. It paired the top pair, and nobody came out and bet the river.
It's an easy bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you'd be amazed. I mean, the more I watch the show and the more I watch the archives, the more I'm amazed at what people call you down with. And it just makes me feel like my first instinct was right in the sense of you should almost always be betting the river. I mean, I find very few instances where I do not want to bet the river in limit hold'em. Now, no limit hold'em is a whole different animal.
Now look at this. Brian has raised.
Seems like everyone chokes in both.
Bruce posted dead. And Brian makes a little steal raise out of small blind. He takes all that dead money. Seat 1, I guess a fairly tight player folded the big blind. Brian raised out of the small. There it is.
Everyone chokes.
Hands call.
Big blind, so you want to come in.
It's not her fault. I'm gonna give him the money.
Here's another interesting thing that somebody got after me one time. Now, I will chop in limit hold'em, Dave. But I tell people now, because they sometimes get insulted, that if I'm small blind on the button, I will not chop. And they think that that's kind of bush, because they're like, well, why do you chop here and you don't chop there?
Right.
And it really isn't. I mean, something has to have happened to make me small blind on the button, and I'm not going to give up my position just because somebody got up that hand and the small blind moved over to the button.
I'm with you
Forget
now.
that.
Good card.
You know?
King is not a winner.
Three-way
You only
action
get to
here.
be a button once a round, and you want to give that up.
Right.
There you go.
I can agree with that.
Amazing.
Queen 8-3 here with a couple of clubs.
Everybody's missed
I love
this.
that pocket three.
Cold bets here.
It's not our fault, though.
Tony's called here.
3 players.
Got a gut
Okay,
shot.
let's see if ace king club. There
Turns
you
a
go.
6.
And Nicole's hand is still good. Let's see if she can fire again at it, though.
Yep, she bets again.
6-3 club.
Tony calls again.
2 players.
What is Tony calling?
He's got a gut shot there.
A gut
River's
shot
deuce.
without a club, though. I mean, what is he doing?
But look at this. Nicole just gives up, but Tony
She checks it down, too.
checks it down at the end.
pocket threes.
This is the problem with Tony's game. He's a nice guy and everything, but oftentimes I've seen him play like this, where he'll play his A game for a little bit of a while. Somebody at the table will get him off his game, get him on tilt a little bit, and in this case I think it's Doc in seat 5. And, you know, we just saw it twice in a row where he kind of called the guy down with second pair, 9-10, and then here he calls it down with Jack 9 of diamonds. You know, and if he's going to play it like that, if he just showed a little more aggressiveness rather than he's almost playing it loose passive, which is pretty much the worst poker you can play. If he plays it loose aggressive and raises Nicole on the turn there, he probably wins the pot. Nicole's not going to call him with ace high.
Seat 7's going to bring this one in for a raise. Bruce, ace-king offsuit. And he is going to take it down there.
Yeah.
And again, you know, I say it's rare in any limit hold'em game because I know in 30-60, all afternoon I didn't see one chop or one, say, non-flop.
Yeah.
So this guy raises and he takes it down.
Yeah, sometimes it's weird. You know, it's just the texture of a game changes. You know, sometimes it's as quickly as every 10 minutes. I mean, just 10 minutes ago we saw it capped 5 ways. And the hands that were in there were 7-8 suited, ace-6, 9-7. I mean, and king-8 wanted. And then here, one person raises and everybody folds.
Raise it.
You're going to raise that from Tony here, and he's got ace-queen offsuit. And I like the play here by Arcady. He's actually got ace-queen also, but he 3-bets. He's going to take advantage of the game.
3 players.
And Raphael calls 3-bets in the big blind with queen-8 suited.
Well, here we go. King 5-4 rainbow.
And
looks like Arcadia makes the continuation bet. And Tony calls with ace-queen, Dave. It's not really the flop you're looking for with ace-queen. Arcadia continues to bet, and Tony calls.
And if Arcady bets the river, I think Tony's going to lay this down. Let's see what he does, though. Let's see if he has the courage to bet one more time.
Ace jack or ace queen?
Oh, they just goes check here. Not a lot of people have the courage to bet there after someone's been calling. I mean, that flop really isn't draw heavy. I mean, the thing is, it's like Tony raised, I believe Arcadia 3-bet. So what do you put Tony on when you bet the flop and he calls with?
To be honest with you, I don't understand the play by Tony. You got to look at it and go, I mean, Arcadia played great. He bets the turn. A lot of players will take one off.
Yeah.
But most people will not call the turn unless they have something.
You want the big blind player?
No, I'm out.
All right.
And it looked like we have a post here on 2+2 Dave by Surfing Illini quoting Shirley what she wrote up on her website, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read that off.
And Shirley actually will be here tomorrow night.
Yes, last show with the...
as our last show to say goodbye to everybody, and obviously we'll let her tell her reasons.
Right. Pocket queens here for seed 8. Tony, he's going to raise it up. And he is going to take it down. So this is coming from poker-babes.com. Shirley says, I no longer work at the Bicycle Casino, either as a prop or a commentator. During the past few months, the two main reasons I kept my job at the bike were that I loved the interaction with people I met there and doing the show. Of course, I can still get out of the house and go play poker without my job at the bike. I'll be able to choose the best games and the most convenient times if I don't have to punch a time clock. The Live the Bike show was a great experience. I enjoyed working in the booth with our little family. They all were a pleasure to work with, and it was a very difficult decision for me to decide to leave the show. The bottom line is I have to follow my heart and pursue my true passion of playing tournament poker. And there it is. Raise here by C4.
Well, she's a heck of a tournament player. I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot from her.
Absolutely. We wish her the best. Queen, Jack, 3 here, rainbow.
Well, not a bad flop for Tony there. He's got open-ended straight draw, and it's a rainbow board. Kind of flop you want to look for when you're going for a straight.
Well, he bet, and he got 2 callers, and there's actually, there's a straight. And Raphael's picked up backdoor clubs draw, and he makes the call here on the turn, and the river's a 5.
What's Bruce in there with?
Well, he had a gut shot. He picked up a pair on the turn. He's going to make the call with third pair there, King 9.
Beautiful. Hey! Now what you cannot say anymore is that you haven't hit your open-ended
There it is.
in the last 15 years.
I really would have... I want to see how that had happened if a club had come on the river, how much tilt that would have put Tony on.
Oh, yeah.
Backdoor clubs.
Well, he can go on tilt, and I've actually seen him, verbally abuse dealers at times.
Yeah.
If things don't go his way.
Big blind, Tony.
And again, I think, well, Shirley will be in here to explain tomorrow. But I think it has a lot to do with the big tournament coming up here in L.A., right?
I think it had a lot to do with you. From what she said to me, and don't quote me, okay, and we'll keep this on the hush-hush.
Okay, we'll see.
I think she was really, really sexually attracted to you.
Oh, okay.
And she found working with you almost unbearable. I feel the same way sometimes, but I suppress my feelings to the show.
Heads up here. Arcadia had raised with ace jack of diamonds. Look at this. Tony's going to check call with ace 9 on this flop, Dave. What's he trying to really hit here? Arcadia's going to continue to bet. Well, I like Arcadia's game. He's played kind of tight.
Tight, solid, aggressive play.
Tight, aggressive,
yeah.
Which is, you know, the way that you want to play in Limit Hold'em. It's an interesting post here by Quicksilver on 2+2. I've never seen anyone call 3 bets cold, much less win by doing it. What kind of hands would you ever call 3 bets cold?
I was actually thinking that myself. God, what hands would I call?
I know I've sometimes done it with pocket jacks and pocket 10s in the big blind, but still, it's even questionable to do that. You know?
Yeah, you know what? I might call
ace king suited, maybe.
I might call 3 bets cold in the big blind.
Yeah.
With jacks.
Yeah, yeah. Aces. Look at this. Arcadia's got pocket aces again in seat 1. Are you kidding? What is that, number 4?
Yeah, it's his third time aces, and 2 times he had kings ready to get.
4-way action here. Queen 10-3. Well, aces are still good right now.
Look, Brian's got the flush draw.
Brian's going to bet right into the flush draw.
Raise it.
And Arcadia is going to raise.
No threes.
3 players.
Seat 4 is going to call Raphael with bottom pair. And there's the flush. Brian's got the flush, and he checks it. And Arcadia's going to bet with the overpair. And there we got a check raise. Now, look at this hand here, Dave. So, I mean, can you easily throw aces away here without the ace of clubs in your hand?
Well, in this game, yeah, I think you can.
But he's going to make the call, and he is drawing dead. And the river is another club.
Yeah, now this is one of those times where...
Brian bets.
Yeah, and he's going to lay it down at least. But this is one of those times where you were talking about before, like, you're just not sure, okay, is Brian slow playing a set on me? Does he have 2 pair?
Right.
Or does he have clubs? And you have to put him on that range of hands. Now he check raised. You know?
Well, I really wanted to see if Arcadia, if he didn't improve on the river. Now, what I mean by not improving is either not hitting an ace or maybe hitting one of the bottom 2 cards to pair up. Right. Would he have called the river? Well, Tony and TNT's got ace-king here on the button.
Some big hands out here. Yeah, calling 3 bets cold. And you can argue that when you're in the big blind, it's not really cold. But calling 3 bets cold, man, I mean, I guess ace-king suited sometimes, but oftentimes I'll cap it then.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
If I'm going to play the hand.
I think I've sometimes, found myself calling pocket jacks out in the field 3 bets cold, Dave.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's the best. Not saying it's the absolute best play, but I'm just saying, thinking back in my poker career, that's one of the hands that I've done it before with. Especially if there's like a real maniac in the game. But I think the case you're going to say is, well, why wouldn't you cap it then and drive other people out behind you?
Right.
If you had jacks. And
you could make that argument. I guess you could look at it if you figure if a solid player has raised and then the maniac 3 bets it.
Right.
You know, and you have jacks. You don't really know because this tight player could have raised with king, queen, or even 9s or 8s.
Brian raised here. He's got pocket 9s here on the button.
Did I call it that?
No, there wasn't a raise.
Oh, I thought somebody 3-bet it. I apologize.
And here we go. Well, he's got the overpair, 7-5-4. And he's going to bet. Look at Arcadia muck the black ace-jack pretty easily.
Yeah, that's easy play there, but...
Yeah. And Bruce gets away from pocket deuces.
And did Raphael call? Raphael called here the gut shot.
Yeah.
And overcards.
Turns a king. Brian bets here and Raphael calls. And the river here is a diamond. And Brian's going to bet the river here again. And Raphael called with ace-high, Dave.
Yeah, and that's why you bet it. I'd say A lot of people would shut down on the river there because it's a third diamond.
Right.
But I like the bet. He's in position. Now, if I'm out of position, you don't want to bet it. But in position, it gets checked to me. Okay, I'm going to bet it. I hope the guy has a 7.
And those other overcards aren't necessarily hurting you. You almost want to look more at what the flop brought.
Right,
Because
the flop
guy
was
could be
7 high.
calling with 7, a 5, 4.
8-7,
Right.
Ace-7.
Right.
I counted one mistake.
And that's an extra big bet that Brian got by betting it.
Yeah.
And he's called by a hand that you would never think in a million years would call him ace high.
Ace 8, for that matter.
Right. I mean, the more I think about it, it's really rare that I'll call 3 bets called.
Raise it.
Right? I mean, that's just rare play.
We have a raise here. And it was by Brian. Boy, he's raised. And look at the C2's got pocket queens. Did he re-raise?
No, I was a little.
We got 2 people with pocket 6s. I don't think Santo re-raised here with queens in the small blind. You just called. Smooth called 2 bets here. And that's the type of time where I would 3-bet because everyone else is only in for 1 bet to drive everyone out, right?
Now, I got to tell you, Tony and Bruce are in really bad trouble here, huh?
King, Jack, Deuce. Queens are good, but how is Santos going to stay in there with that flop? 2 red queens. Brian's going to bet here. He's got middle pair. And Santos just calls.
He has no idea where he's at here by just calling again. We saw him do it earlier with the 8s there. Just doesn't get much information by just checking and calling.
Hey, look at this. Bruce and TNT both call, Dave.
Yeah, and
with
they're drawing
pocket
dead.
6s. Turns a 9, and now Brian's got 2 pair. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Brian's going to bet here.
One more.
Now, Santos has picked up a draw here. Santos needs a queen or a 10
One more.
to win this pot.
One more. One more.
Actually, and I think a king or a deuce would also win it for him.
Well, Thomas has got the club, so there would have to be non-club cards.
Right.
And here we go to the river. The river is an 8.
And that doesn't change anything. Brian's got the best hand here with Jack 9, 2 pair.
And he bets here. And Santos is going to call him the whole way, Dave. And Thomas calls. He made 2 pair at the end. 8s and deuces. He had a flush draw and a pair. And Jack 9 is going to take it down.
Oh my God.
Oh.
And Brian's going to win.
Almost.
Deuce 8 of clubs. Well,
I actually didn't see a deuce 8. I actually thought a deuce would have helped Santos' hand, but obviously not. Nice email here from Sean and Judy. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Missed you over the holidays. Question, she wants to know, or he wants to know, is there a waiting list for the live table, and how many? And it depends on the night, obviously. Some nights we don't have a waiting list, and some nights we have a huge waiting list. It really depends on the game we have. Oftentimes our Friday night game, or our Wednesday games, which are the big no-limit games, a lot of good publicity around town. And a lot of people want to get into that game. So sometimes it's tougher to get into that game. But a game like tonight, obviously, seat 5 is open right now, so anybody can come in there.
Three-way action here, ace 8-5. I believe that it was limped around. Brian's going to bet here. He's got top pair. And Bruce is going to check call with pocket 9s.
Check.
Turns a queen. Bruce checks. Raphael's in there with a gut shot wheel draw. Brian bets again. And Bruce calls again, Dave. And here we go to the river. The river's a spade. And Brian made a nice value bet again on the end. And Bruce isn't happy, but it's not like it's a bad beat.
But what's the difference? It doesn't matter. Jesus Christmas, man. I got 4 pocket pairs in a row.
Well, there it is.
4 pocket pairs in a row. What is going on here? This is ridiculous. Not one set? Gosh. Disgusting, I tell you. I don't think I've ever had 4 pocket pairs in a row and not hit a set. Have you?
I'm not tripping.
Absolute disgrace.
Feels like I'm at 400 right now.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, we should fire Brian right on the spot. Get rid of that dealer.
It's okay. We're all equal in the end.
Nicola's in the big blind here.
All in. 4 chips.
And Bruce is all in here for 4 chips. We can only see one card. It's the 10 of diamonds. We'll play that one in the dark. I think his time here at this table is up, Dave. Brian is limped in here with queen 7 off suit. He had been playing solid. And we got a raise here.
He's playing his rush. He's won a couple of hands in a row, and he's playing his rush.
We had a raise
Some
here.
people actually believe in that, you know that? They really do.
Raise here by Santos. Jack 10 off suit.
And Nicole called with 9-4.
In the blind?
And Raphael called in the blind with 4-9. And they both hit top pair.
Well, Nicole and Raphael both don't bet out on top
And
pair.
Santos has flopped the nuts.
Yep. He raised pre-flop, and he's got the jack high straight.
Now, if a jack were to hit...
Now, look at the seat one, actually. Excuse me. I believe Brian bet, and Santos raised with the straight.
Everybody call?
How can... Now, how does Nicole and Raphael call that? Well, I mean, they do have top pair, but... Oh, now Nicole's going to get away from it. I mean, that's just the type of thing. What are you looking to hit there with 9-4? And Brian's out of there, too. Bruce actually has queen 10 here, Dave. So Santos needs to dodge a 10 or a jack.
Everybody's all in?
And it goes check, check around here on the turn. The river's a 5. Jack 10 is good.
And Santos is going to knock 2 players out. Now, obviously, this is not a tournament. This is a cash game. So people can just reach back in their pocket whenever they want. We saw Doc, obviously, a big winner, got up earlier. One thing great about cash games, you can get up whenever you leave. You can add more money whenever you want to. And that's what we do here. We do live cash games. Unedited, unscripted. And this is real cash, folks.
100 behind 3.
100 behind here.
You'll see me a bit lower than
Button here is in seat number 4.
calls.
Limp.
Why not?
That makes 4 players.
4-way action. Ace 9, Ace 10 4 here with a couple spades.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, TNT has got the aces. Bruce is going to rebuy there.
And again, you can kind of see TNT. I mean, TNT made an open limp under the gun with Ace 9 off suit there, Dave. He's going to take it down.
It just shows. I mean, Tony's a nice guy and everything. I don't want to, but it just shows. I mean, I've played with him a lot of times, and I've never really had a lot of respect for his game. And but it
Even
shows
after
though.
the final 4 cashes at the World Series of Poker this year, and
what I want to say though is, in tournament play, you know, anybody can get a hot streak for a little while. Anybody can win a tournament.
Right.
You know, tournament play obviously is very different than playing in a cash game day in and day out. But anybody can watch at home and watch TNT's play and go, oh wow, yeah, like this guy's a great player.
Raise it.
Raise here by Brian. He's got King Queen off suit. C3's going to make a call here. And Nicole is going to call on the button with King 10 of clubs. She is dominated. And we got another king out there. Ace 8 of diamonds over there in C3.
Playing position here, Nicole is.
4-way action. Queen 9-6 with a couple of hearts. Brian continues to bet here. He's got top pair, King Queen.
Yeah, Brian's got a nice little rush here.
Thomas is out of there.
2 of you.
And Nicole's going to call here with King 10 of clubs. Maybe to see if he's going to bet again here. He's going to bet again.
Well, if he doesn't bet again, what's Nicole going to do?
I assume she was going to bet and try to take it down.
Yeah, I mean, she has a gut shot.
Interesting.
Some people take one off, no matter what.
Again, we had talked about that article that was in Card Player a couple issues. Was it last issue or a couple issues ago? About sometimes calling with any 2 cards out of the blind. And I have to say, you and I can't disagree more with that, right?
What was interesting, I mean, the 2 articles in the same exact magazine.
Kind of the opposite.
Yeah, Barry Tannenbaum was talking about being, you know, pretty smart about playing in the blinds, how it can be dangerous. And then I want to say Matt Matros was saying, oh yeah, I'll call with Queen 5, Jack 3.
Right, against a button raise or steel raise.
Right. Well, I don't mind playing those hands, but I'd rather 3-bet it, take control of the hands.
We had a raise here by Raphael. He's got Ace Jack offsuit. Open raise.
C4.
Call by Bruce with a Jack 10. He went back into his pocket. Now, Tony's in the small blind with 9-5 with diamonds. I just don't know what you're looking to hit there out of position. I mean,
9-9-5.
Again, I asked myself, would I call 9-5 of diamonds on the button to a raise? No. Why would I call it in the small blind to a raise?
Well, now he's picked up a flush draw. Problem is always he's drawing now and he's out of position.
Got checked around. Raphael did not bet.
And Brian didn't bet top pair.
Well, now Brian's going to bet. Queen 9.
And is Tony gonna? Let's see if Tony's gonna raise this.
No, he
Nope.
just calls.
Just calls it up.
He needs to catch a diamond here or a straight, and there's the diamond. And now he's going to bet. Brian's going to pay him off, and there's the flush.
Yeah, Tony's played pretty passive. If Tony's betting, he's usually got it.
Alright, ace jack. Let's go, dude.
Somebody go down there and congratulate him for having ace jack.
Again, I say to myself, and I think it's an interesting rule of thumb, if I'm going to call in the small blind to a raise, would I call this hand if I had it on the button?
Right.
9-5 of diamonds.
Do you really
No.
want to put more money
Ace
in?
10 offsuit? No.
Do you want to put more money in the pot with an
Right.
inferior hand
Right.
out of position?
I mean, I've seen guys play drawing hands in the blinds, like, 5, 6 of hearts to 3 bets out of the small blind. I'm thinking to myself,
Oh, yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Do you don't even really want to play that to a raise in this one raise in the small blind? I mean, just because you've got dead money in there doesn't mean.
The
that
money's not
already
yours.
gone.
Yeah, it's not yours anymore. It's gone. It's cost money now.
Tony raise here. Look at Brian making a move on TNT. He's going to 3-bet with 8-4 hearts.
You think it's a little personal? Tony just sucked out on him.
Well, Brian's going to flush draw Queen 6 Queen, and Brian bets and Tony raises with Ace 10. Turns a jack. Tony's got a straight draw now. Brian checks, and Tony checks right behind him, and the river's a king.
But it's the king of hearts.
And Tony's made a straight, but Brian's made a flush. And Tony's going to raise here.
Yeah, well, Brian bet, Tony raised him.
Yeah.
And can Brian even re-raise again? I don't know if he can. I think he can just call this, right? Yeah. The board is paired. You only have an 8-high flush draw. Brian's definitely going to call, but he's trying to think.
You got to think this hand's probably going to put Tony on tilt here a little bit, wouldn't you think?
It could.
Let's see if we can get a picture of Tony's face. Oh, he's remarkably calm.
Well, I mean, he only had ace high into the river.
Right.
We all made money and we all lost it.
No, I might be a little bit more sarcastic and rude this week. Part of the reason being that I was in New York all last week and around my parents. So I'm going to do my best not to be, but I might just come out and be really rude occasionally. Hope I don't offend anybody.
Button's moved over here to seat 9.
Now Thomas has moved over to seat 5 from seat 3. Taking Doc's seat, and obviously seat 3 is empty right now. 3 players. Flop is 9-7-4. Couple of spades.
Set of 4s here.
Wow, set of 4s for Bruce, huh?
Well, there's that pocket pair that finally you got a set.
Well, there you go.
Into it. And seat 2 is in the hand. We can't see his cards right now.
Santos.
Then technically you would know to answer that question.
Santos has got 8-6. He's open-ended. Turns an 8. Now he picks up a pair.
Yeah, I got to tell you, if a 5 or a 10 come out,
man,
and Bruce loses,
Exactly.
we might see it. We might see a little temper tantrum.
Oh, the river is a 9.
Bruce seems like a nice guy, but I was kind of hoping for a 10 or a 5 just to see a reaction. The evil little guy in me is looking
This is
for
going
it.
to pay him off the whole time there with a pair of 8s.
Well, you know, in the river pair to 9, you kind of think, wait a second, maybe my 8 is good.
$2.
You're still complaining. You won it. You're still complaining.
Yeah, we might have seen the new live at the bike table go a little table topsy. Might pick up the table.
That would be a mistake. That would be a mistake. Right. I just don't.
Well, there it is.
You gotta love those guys who
one
win a hand.
set out of 5. That's
Yeah.
better than the odds of it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially considering one of the times he had pocket 6s and somebody else had pocket 6s.
Right.
That's right.
You gotta love those guys. They win a hand, they still complain, huh? Never happy.
Tell nothing. I had a lot of money and now I
Dave
don't.
Blue from Old School died?
Really?
That's what
Wow.
Oh, no.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Positive.
It's interesting. I actually used to, one of my old roommates was Vivica Paulin, who is Will Ferrell's wife now.
Well, you said you know Will Ferrell,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
But Vivica was, and so I just thought of Old School. I thought of him. Wow, Blue, no longer Blue.
Brian raised here with Ace Queen offsuit. Got a couple callers. Well, Queen 10's open-ended here. Jack 9-9. And Bruce, we can't see what he has over there in seat 7, so I guess it's 4-way. He bet out. Brian folded. Bruce has got Queen 10. He's got the same hand. He bets at the semi-bluff, and Santos calls. Turns an 8. Now both players have the straight, but Santos is on a free roll.
Yep.
So we're up Queen 10 of spades against Queen 10 of hearts, or Queen 10 offsuit against Queen 10 of hearts.
Now, this is the kind of case, right? If you were playing no limit hold'em,
yeah,
you could really be aggressive with Queen 10 of hearts.
Now look at this. Santos comes out and bets the turn. Bruce raises, and Santos 3-bets.
Although I actually take that back with a paired.
Well, this board is paired.
But
Bruce re-raises here.
Oftentimes, if you expect somebody has the same exact hand as you, but you're on a free roll, you can take advantage of that.
River's an ace, and this one's just going to get chopped up.
Yeah. Chop it up.
Like you said, if that flop wasn't paired, say that the board is Jack 9 deuce and the turn is an 8. In limit hold'em, obviously there's no cap heads up. You can just go on forever racing. Some people that don't understand that concept, I've seen guys make it their whole stack in the 20-40 game. They have 2 racks in front of them, and they'll go in and raise to cap until they're all in, and they don't realize that the other guy is on a flush free roll.
Yeah. One of my favorite things is if I occasionally playing Omaha, and the player I'm playing against doesn't realize it, because oftentimes you have the same hand as they have. Like you both have a wheel, say, but you have the nut flush draw with your wheel,
or top set.
Right,
something
with
like
the wheel.
Right.
And the other guy just has a wheel.
Yeah.
And you bet he raises, you re-raise, and you're going, okay, I'll just put it all in. I don't mind. I
can't lose the hand.
But I mean, you got to be aware. Like if you have a nut flush draw, he might have top set.
Right.
No, it was.
But
I believe it.
Thank you.
Big blinds in seat 5 here.
that's Thomas.
Cocktails.
Go to thebike.com.
Get an MGD with a glass, please. Glass, please.
Good old MGD with the glass, Steve.
Yeah, Brian's having nice. Brian only bought him for $250, and he's got a lot more than that now.
All in 5 chips.
Probably the best. I probably got pocket deuces.
And Raphael is all in here for 5 chips. Small blind.
Don't know what is he at? His queen deuce.
Queen deuce. 5-way action. I believe C2. Did he just limp in with pocket 10s over there, Santos?
Yeah.
Wow.
Super passive Santos plays this.
Jack 7-3 here with a couple diamonds.
Well, his 10s are good. Let's see if he plays them, Mike. And he bets it.
Actually, I think that Brian bet with 4s, and Santos again just called Dave with 10s. Wow.
2 diamonds out there. I mean, I don't understand what he's doing.
Pocket jacks.
So Brian bet with 4. Santos just called. Turns an ace. Check.
I'll take pocket
River's a 3, and 10s hold up here.
But it goes check. No,
Well, now he's going to bet the river.
What do you got, man? Pocket 10s?
And he shows.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
Raphael's
somebody's all in.
here.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Raphael had queen high, so
Yeah.
wasn't looking good for him.
I have 100.
100 behind 4.
Raphael's going to buy in for 100 behind.
Yeah, I do apologize in advance to anybody I offend this week. I hope nobody takes it personal. Once again, when we attack somebody, it's just their poker we're attacking. It's not them personally.
Get my odds.
But
You want a hand over here?
Yeah.
You go post, right? No,
I have to post.
live at the bike, politically incorrect, keeping it real, and brutally honest.
Look at these guys here. Bart, Nicole is pretty sexy. Have you given her the counterfeit rap yet? Hey, you guys should put Nicole back in the booth in place of Shirley because she
You raising?
has the looks as well as a pretty decent player. Or she is a pretty decent player as well. Look who's got pocket aces again, Dave. Are you kidding me?
What a surprise.
It's seat 1.
Amazing. Brian's got 8s, and it's heads up.
Raise and a 3-bet, and we're heads up. King, queen, 4. Well,
Check, bet, fold. Pretty straightforward there. Brian doesn't get mixed around. He knows he's behind, and he throws it away.
well, Nicole did, she did some commentary here when we were away over the summer, right?
Yeah.
Nobody will see you win.
Well, it's either her or we might bring in Shauna Hyatt.
Yeah.
But
God, man, what's wrong with cars?
obviously looking for another
Raise in the dark.
woman, I think, to help us out, right?
I'm not sure if it's specifically a woman or if we can say that because that's yeah, you can send your JPEG files
I can
to
say anything I
Bart and
want.
Dave at
Post
livebike.com.
cards, 7 of diamonds. He calls.
Is that sexual discrimination if we're only looking for a woman?
I'm not privy to those laws.
No? Okay,
So
let's
I
check
don't
it
know.
out.
How many players?
3 players.
3-way action here.
And specifically an Asian woman for Bart. Can we say that?
Jack.
Nicole is the best hand here at Jack.
Well, Raphael raised pre-flop with King 9.
He's all in. Oh, no, he's not. He's got some money behind. Okay.
Check, check here.
And Brian is not in the hand. And
That's good.
Nicole's going to win with 2 pair, aces and jacks with a 10 kicker.
Yep.
He owes you 12 chips, okay?
12 chips to me?
Yes.
All right.
12 chips, $24.
Thank you.
Button moves over to her. Yeah, Nicole seems to have been a regular,
So, Mr.
been a
Kemp,
regular here on the Live at the Buck show.
seat
Lately.
open.
Yeah.
Maybe she's trying to slide her way in there, Dave.
I
Never
think,
know.
you know, I mean, she's smart. She wants to, she actually told me she likes to play because then she can go home and watch how she
Yeah.
played. You know, critique herself. She said she regularly just mutes us and just watches it.
Much like some other people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, you said when you go back, you mute me when you're watching your shows.
Well, I was trying my best to mute you and listen to Shirley, but it just wasn't working.
Raphael is going to raise here with ace-10 offsuit.
3 players.
Yeah, we got
Brian
three-way
open
action.
called there with king, queen, 5, or was he in the blind?
I think he's in the blind. Well, Santos is in there with ace-deuce also in the blind. Look at this. Brian's going to bet out with the 5. Santos raises with top pair. Let's see what Raphael's going to do. He just looks like he just called. And now Brian, it's back to him for 1 bet. And actually, you know what,
3
Raphael?
players.
I think it was a bet, a call, and a raise. Turn
Okay,
to
there you
king.
go. Yeah, I was meant be surprised if Santos actually raised.
Right, right. And the river here is a 9.
9 of diamonds, and Raphael hand is still good here. Ace-10 wins, and he takes it down. One of the few hands Raphael's win all night is.
It is interesting that in these games, you know, you really do have a combination of different styles. You know, we don't really have the wild maniac type in here, which you sometimes see in the game.
Yeah, well, Doc is left now.
Right. But, I mean, Santos is a great example of kind of a just tight Greek almost, tight passive, which you'll often encounter as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if Santos is going to raise, boy, you got to know he's got it, doesn't he? I mean, it's just...
He's just one of those players. I mean, you saw him raise one time tonight, and the only time he raised was when the flop was 7, 8, 9, and he had 10 jack.
Right, right.
I mean, those are the kind of players that's like, they've read a couple of books, they know what ABC, they know what cards to play, but in terms of playing poker, they've got a lot to learn. You know, they got to step up the aggressiveness, they got to step up the kind of the unpredictability.
Well, we get a raise here by Thomas with pocket 6s. Brian's going to 3-bet here out of the small blind with king jack. Well, I'd rather see that than just a call out of the small blind with king jack, right?
Oh, definitely.
So here we go to the flop. Queen 3-4.
Let's see if Brian continues, and he does.
He bets.
And Thomas might be put in a tough spot here.
It's a tough spot. I mean, there's only one overcard. Turns another 3.
It's a nice flop for 6s. I mean, the problem is those, you can't beat ace queen, you can't beat king queen, you can't beat any overpair. But Thomas is not going to be, he's going to move all in.
Raise all in. 7 more chips.
7 chips more, and Brian folds.
And look, Brian doesn't even pay off the extra 7 chips.
And there's another example right there, where if you don't know your hand is good here with pocket 6s, especially if something on the board pairs, although it's very difficult to put that guy on a 3, you could raise the turn with pocket 6s and just get a free showdown on the river, because even an overpair can't necessarily re-raise you, 3-bet you. So you might actually get something like ace-king to fold there on the turn, whereas if he bets and you just call, you're in essence just having him name his price right on the turn. You're not making him cost any more.
And in that case, he actually got the hand out.
Right.
And Brian was still drawing live.
That's
because
right.
of king and jack. I mean, he's going to win the hand.
4-way action here, limped around. 8-2-7 with a couple of diamonds.
Santos is sweating. Working it.
No one really hit any part of this.
No. Ace high still good, huh?
I think that Brian bet here with Jack 9, overcards and a gut shot. He's going to take it down.
Take it down. And Brian, let's get a look at Brian's chips there. What does he have? One,
those
two,
are $40
three, 4,
stacks.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stacks
So
at
that's
$40 a pot. He's got over $500 there. And he only bought him for $250, so he's already doubled his money.
Be nice, Brian.
Not bad.
It is?
Absolutely.
I thought he said both
You
sides.
said that to me.
I thought he said both sides.
Buttons moved over to seat 1. Ace, queen, and diamonds here for seat 5. He's going to raise it up. see if he's going to get any action here. Well, small blind there is going to call with ace-8. And oftentimes, this is sometimes the worst combination. You've got, say, a tight passive player post-flop, but sometimes pre-flop they're coming in with inferior hand values, similar to like what we say a Dr. Beebe, right?
Yeah.
Pre-flop standards are somewhat questionable. Jack 4-7.
And Santos is in such bad shape here. It's ridiculous. I mean, he's got ace-8. He's already behind. Thomas has got the diamonds, and Santos is going to get away from it.
He would need to catch an 8 that wasn't a diamond there.
Right. I mean, he's basically got 2 outs.
Yeah. But again, I bring that up with the, say, Dr. Beebe, people that are familiar with the show. He plays it, relatively tight, passive, Dave, but not necessarily pre-flop.
Right.
A lot of people, what do you mean? What does that mean? Well, it's coming in with inferior hands, which even puts yourself more at a disadvantage because someone that might be able to outplay other players and use their position regardless of their cards can do that, but these guys aren't going to do that.
But I was actually playing with Dr. Beebe last week on Monday and Tuesday before I flew out to New York.
Right.
And sure enough, I kind of did what I was always told I was going to do, in the sense of I would raise him pre-flop, and when he checked to me, automatic bet.
Right.
No matter what. And more often than not, he would throw it away.
Right.
And if he called me, I knew I was dead.
Right.
I was like, okay, he's got something.
Well, at least you can take a free card, right, on the turn?
Oh, yeah, you take a free card, and then, he doesn't even bet the river anyway.
Right, right.
It's a showdown.
Oh, there's Tony TNT.
TNT Tony.
Taking a long walk. King 9-5 here on the flop.
Race.
We get a bet here by seat 3 with ace-5 and a raise by Thomas with middle pair. Turn to 6. Thomas has got a diamond draw now. And he's going to check here. And the river's a diamond, and he's made backdoor diamonds. Bruce is going to check, and now Thomas is going to bet here.
Thomas's instincts were right there by raising the flop.
Yeah.
If he had followed through on it, he probably would have gotten an extra bet out of it. Might have gotten called on the turn.
And there it is.
Who knows, though? So I actually set my dad up on a couple of internet websites. My dad goes, I get home, my dad plays mostly gin, and he plays poker with his buddies once in a while, but he never played online. And he really wants to try to win himself a seat to the World Series this year. So when I was home, he had me set up a party poker site and a PokerStars site for him. See if he can win himself a seat.
Raise it. I call.
We get a raise here by seat 9.
3 players.
And a call. Small blind and the big blind. And here again, Raphael with ace-10. Why not 3-bet there in the small blind if you're going to play it, right? King 10-4.
Raise it.
And it looks like Arcadia bet with the king, top pair, but Raphael check raised him with second pair. Arcadia's got the best hand. Raphael check raised. He's going to lead the turn, and Arcadia calls. And the river's a queen.
Check.
And this one's going to get checked down here.
Yeah.
Now, for instance, here, would you bet the river there with king
Yes.
9?
Come on, Raphael checks to me. He's going to check a king. He's not going to check king queen to me, right? He might check king jack, but I even doubt that. He's not going to check king 10 to me. That's for sure. He's got 2 pair. And he's not going to check ace king to me. Why not bet it? I love that post on. I'm just checking out the 2+2 thread here, and I just love Russ McGinley there. Terry is busy, and he shows has a picture of a noose. Really, it's really sweet. I mean, it's a great way to start out 2006.
Yeah. Hey, what are Scott Groves and Roger Rudd up to these days, too, Dave?
Roger Rudd or Robert Rudd?
I think his name's Roger, isn't
Is it? You got the fan?
He's the comedian.
Oh, Robert. Okay.
You were thinking of Robert Roeder.
Robert Roeder.
No, we don't want to get him in the booth, I don't think.
Roger
Rudd actually did a good job. I enjoyed him having him in here. Pocket kings here for seat 6.
3-bet.
And Nicole's got a 3-bet.
You tell him.
I'm going to have to call this.
Get out! Get out!
Well, seat 7 raised here. We can't see what he has.
Sixes.
Everything I've ever seen.
6s, ace 9, and pocket kings. And Nicole's hit top set. She's going to bet.
Well, a long time ago, but I haven't got
And that's not Raphael. That is Raphael.
Yeah, he's moved over there.
He made a call there with pocket sixes, Dave. What's he trying to hit here?
6.
And there's a 6. Oh, man. It's a third spade, though, so it might shut Nicole down a little bit.
One time she 3-bets.
No, she's just going to call.
And if the board pairs here, this could see...
I got 3 6s.
I got 3 kings.
I know that.
There it is.
I thought you had spades.
Yeah, the board pairs there. That would have been some fireworks.
Yeah, the board pairs. You get a bet, you get a raise, you might even get a re-raise in there. You might get 3 or 4 bets in there.
You're looking at someone else.
I told you not to come in.
Hey, I had to.
I just hope if we get Roger Rudd back in here, he can open up a little more about the 80s LA comedy scene.
Yeah, well, he looks like he's been there for sure.
Right, yeah.
Been there, done that, huh?
Yep.
Well, Nicole is going to count her chips now. Put them up there. And look at seat 1. Again, Arcadie's got a big hand. This time he's got kings.
Yep. Wow, we got pocket queens for Nicole and ace-jack suited for seat 5.
Oh, we're going to get fireworks here.
So Nicole's going to 3-bet here, I'm sure. No, she just called with queens on the button. Wow.
Wow. Okay, maybe that's respecting the player. I mean, Arcadie raises an early position. She's respecting him.
I still usually think that queens is always a re-raise. Here we go to the flop. Top set for Nicole.
What is Nicole? Look at this. Top set. She's on fire.
Let's see how she's going to play it.
She's not quite as loud.
She's going to slow play it, Dave.
Oh, man.
She just called.
Why not raise it up there?
Turns at 3. I don't know. Well, I guess she's going to get the raise in here with the double-size bet.
She raises it up to Arcadie, probably 3-bets it, right? And then Arcadie follows through and bets on the flop, on turn.
And then he can bet on the turn. Now, again, this is a, really kind of, I want to say almost an easy laydown. If Nicole has raised me here on the turn, how on earth are pocket kings good? I just don't see it.
She's not...
Yeah. I mean, you've got to put
Although,
her on
actually, I will say something at you. Earlier, she had ace-king, and she raised on the turn there, and she took a free showdown.
Did she do that?
Yeah, she did earlier. So she might do this with ace-queen. She's a tricky enough player that she could do that.
River's a 4. And Nicole's going to bet. And Arcadia says set is good. She's got a set of queens. But, the way that hand played out, she slow played the flop, got a double-sized bet on the turn. If she had jammed the flop pre-flop,
right,
3-bet and then a cap, she would have actually ended up winning a lot more money. Now, granted, she was behind, so she would have been putting in more money with an inferior hand pre-flop. But Queen's almost a mandatory cap for me sometimes, especially if somebody didn't 3-bet in front of me. But like you said, if she had raised the flop, got a 3-bet, and then was able to pop it on the turn, she would have made more money as well.
Yeah, there was about the show, maybe 15, 20 minutes into tonight's show, actually. She raised a turn with just top pair, top kicker, and it was ace-king, obviously.
I did not.
King, 9, 10, 8.
Okay.
And somebody else had 2 pair. She raised him. It was actually raising Arcadia in that case. And she had ace-king.
We had a raise here by Brian, queen 10, and Arcadia's going to call here with king 10. And check, fold there.
And look at this email we get from B2G4. Does Nicole ever play, or does she only play with her chips? Well, I guess she only plays sets, and top set at that. So, there you go. Obviously, she does play. But like a lot of good players, people just play, winning poker is pretty much tight poker, but the few hands you do play, you play them hard.
Poker players put up their own money. Sports players don't put up their own money, they get paid.
Raise it.
But TVs make a lot of money.
A raise here by Nicole, ace-jack. Now the small blind's got ace-king here.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree or disagree with their argument.
And he's going to 3-bet.
Re-raise.
And Nicole's
another big hand from Arcadia. Everybody misses this.
8-4-7.
Let's see how it's played.
He bets, Nicole folds.
Okay. Pretty straightforward there.
Yep.
And look, we got our first offer here from Marianne Jarvis. Hey, remember me? I will be your next woman commentator for free.
Marianne Jarvis, of course, the big fan of Jesus.
Yeah, and the only problem with that is I'm not sure if she'll be objective. She might be too pro-Jesus.
A lot of them had problems showing the cards. They never want to show
I agree with that argument.
They don't get compensated for
Maybe we can get some. Maybe do like
I don't necessarily disagree with
kind of a feature where some of those guys in the big game comes in here for about 5 minutes, explaining the play a little bit sometimes.
I got to be honest with you. I'm more in favor of getting hot women in here. You know?
Players should definitely share that problem.
I've talked to the producer about it, and I want hot women.
I mean, not here, obviously, but like in big
Three players.
Three-way action here. Ace, king, 8.
Bet over there.
And Raphael's bet with the ace, and he's going to take
And shows it.
Oh my god, he had an ace.
He actually showed the wrong card. He showed the 5 first. That didn't really help.
What was the other one?
Do this one too. I want to see these great cards.
Take it down.
And the button moves over here to seat 2.
Thank you.
So it's interesting. Actually, New Year's Eve, I actually was in the city. My wife wanted to go to the top of the Empire State Building. New York City. The city. What do you mean? What city?
Syracuse, New York?
The city. No, we went to the top of the Empire State Building, actually, in the middle of a snowstorm.
Oh, that's great.
And went to a great little Irish pub called Connolly's on like 44th Street. Got some great bangers and mash.
You could
Guinness
actually
on
get
tap.
in there?
Yeah. Bangers and mash. Wife had fish and chips. I had a
I'm telling
great
you, there's a
Guinness on
place
tap.
over in
It was
Santa Monica
delicious.
called Sonny McLean's. It's a Boston sports bar that serve great New England food.
Yeah?
We had a raise here, I believe, by Raphael.
And Nicole is on fire. Look at this. She's flopped a nut flush draw.
Raphael's going to bet here with overcard. Santo folds. And
Okay, 2 players.
Nicole calls.
See, Nicole, she doesn't play her draws very hard at all, does she?
Turns a king. Yeah, she's got a gut shot and a flush draw. She check
I mean,
calls
that's a
her.
really big flop for her, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, she gets there, Dave. The river's a heart. And she checked. Oh, excuse me. I thought she went to check it there.
Yeah, I think she said I got there.
Oh,
Flush.
she takes it down.
My dealer, what can I say?
But you can kind of see something, a little pattern in Nicole's game here. You know, when she hits a draw, she kind of she plays it pretty passively. She check calls. But when she has something, she plays it much more aggressive, obviously. And based on that, you can kind of start picking up on patterns in her play. And if you were to play against her, obviously these patterns would help you beat her.
Or at least get on her good side.
Yeah, exactly. Button in seat 3. Nicole is a small blind. Big blind is seat 7. That's Raphael. And Brian McCain he's gonna come in there. He's gonna limp in under the gun.
Raise it.
Well, seat number 3 there on the button's got ace king. Well, here we go again. I mean, Nicole's going to call here with deuce 4 of hearts in the small blind. I'm just not a fan of that.
No.
Here we go to the flop. 9-4-8. Brian bets out here. It looks like he's got 9-8. 9-8. Oh, he's got top two pair. He limped with 8-9 offsuit under the gun.
Yeah. Now it is a short-handed game, but still.
Turns to 5.
And Nicole called, and Raphael called with queen 7. How are you in there with queen 7? And Bruce is bemoaning his bad luck. How could he possibly have ace king and not flop a pair?
But look at this. Raphael's going to check raise. Check raise all in, Dave, which makes it even less of a move.
Yeah.
Brian only needs to call one extra bet.
Yeah, Raphael needs a 6 and only a 6. Yeah, 5 doesn't do it.
2 pairs.
Wow.
And he shows him.
Lock it up, okay.
And he also bemoans his bad luck. And it's amazing. These same players go home and they think about all that. God, I got such bad luck today. I did this and I did this. And they don't remember the plays like that. You know? And you hear Bruce, obviously, bemoaning his bad luck with ace king. Ace king is just ace king. It's just a drawing hand. You're only going to hit a pair on the flop 1 out of 3 times.
I wish it stayed till 9. It would have been all done.
So, do you like Patriots with 7.5 against the Jaguars? Dave?
Like, I'm not really a football betting man, but if I would not take the. If I had to take them heads up, obviously I'm not gonna go against the Patriots at home.
Right.
You know, I think they're probably gonna win the game, but I think 7.5 points is too many points. Jaguars is a pretty good defense.
This one's going to get chopped around. And again, I mean, the theory that Bill Belichick is a genius because they played Jacksonville. I think Pittsburgh's going to knock off Cincinnati because, you know, it's usually about the teams that have momentum and are hot going into the postseason.
Cincinnati is really for the last 2 weeks. You wonder if they've just been resting and haven't been playing. You know, but it's like kind of like Indianapolis. Is Indianapolis, are they slumping?
Well, Cincinnati had a chance for the 2 seed. They
blew
it at the end.
Right, but they lost the game, I think, 3 weeks ago, and that pretty much made the last 2 games irrelevant.
And the issue is that, you know, if Pittsburgh beats Cincinnati, they'll go to Indy the second week. And could Pittsburgh possibly knock off Indy or beat them up and soften them up possibly?
I think Pittsburgh's a paper team. I don't think they're that good, actually.
A paper team, really?
I don't think they're that good. I mean, I think against a real team, I think they get killed. And we've seen it. I mean, I think, what did Indianapolis beat them by, 25 early in the season?
Limped around here, 3-way action.
16, I'll play it every time.
Ace, king, 8. And seat 1's got ace 8, top and bottom. He's going to bet. And Bruce has got pocket 7 save. What is he trying to do?
Hit a 7.
Another pocket pair. My goodness.
Yeah, well, that's the 6th one he's had. He's only hit 1 set.
Thank you.
You're supposed to hit 1 out of 2. Don't you know that?
Right. And look at this. The turn's a 7. Rabbit Cam shows the 7 on the turn.
Oh, somebody tell Brian to show it to him. Just to rub it in. If I had to pick games, I think Cincinnati's going to beat Pittsburgh. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I like Cincinnati. I think they're a good team. Then again, think about it. I also picked the Jets to play the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl this year. Remember my early season predictions? I got to own up to them. That was my September prediction was Jets versus Cowboys. Neither team is even in the playoffs.
2 players.
Button raised here.
I might have been inebriated when I said that, but I'm pretty much always inebriated, so what's the difference?
King, 9, king. Brian bets, and he's going to take it down there.
I mean, I don't put any weight to, like, Seattle losing the last game of the season either to Green Bay. You know? In a game that was completely meaningless for them.
Well, obviously, yeah. And actually, Indy was pretty close to losing to Arizona, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to throw something out at you after this hand about the drop kick that Doug Flutie kicked. Of course, I was watching that game at the time. Limp. And I don't think I've heard anybody, any sportscaster, mention this. Because I'm such a rules freak in sports, I need to mention it. See if anybody comments.
4 ways limped around.
4-way action here.
$32 pot. It's the flop. Flop is 7, ace, 4, rainbow.
Yeah, we got ace, king over there. Bruce.
Wow, Bruce didn't raise ace, king.
Oh, I mean.
Well, see, and that's what happens a lot of times, and this is actually a perfect example. A lot of players will not hit their sets or not hit their ace, king a couple times in a row, and then they suddenly start going, well, forget it, I'm not going to raise that anymore.
Right.
And they start playing a little more passively, and they leave somebody in there with like 7-4. And they end up losing a hand like that. Somebody who wouldn't even played if you had played it aggressively.
Look at this. I didn't even realize this. Cincinnati is a 3-point dog against Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm not a betting man. I do not bet on football. I might jump all over that one.
I think that
Getting 3 points at home?
Yeah.
Well, that's no respect whatsoever.
We got a raise here by Brian. Look at this. He's got deuce 10 offsuit. Doyle Brunson in a limit game.
Mixing it up, trying to outplay 8-16 players.
Right. 4-way action here.
It can be tough to do, but let's see if he does it. And he's badly dominated here.
4 players.
Ace 4-4. Raphael's got the ace.
You're not here.
Well, Raphael's not going to go anywhere.
Monday
He bets.
Thursday from 4 to midnight, I'm going to be here.
And at least give Brian the credit. He tries to steal a 10 deuce. Didn't work. He gets rid of it. He doesn't lose any more money with it, at least.
Okay,
and Raphael takes it down.
Let me throw something out at you about that drop kick.
Okay.
Drop kicks in the NFL were around before people started kicking the ball off of the ground, place kicks. But the rule about place kicks, which is either a field goal or an extra point, the rule states that the ball has to be in contact with the ground when you kick the ball. And that is what is, quote-unquote, a place kick. Right. So a drop kick used to be when the guy used to drop the ball basically up and down vertically and actually kick the ball when it was on contact with the ground. So you drop the ball and you kick it when it hits the ground. Now, Doug Flutie dropped the ball and kicked it off the bounce. The ball was clearly in the air, and he kicked it like, say, scooped the ball up from the bottom of the ball.
So you're saying that's illegal?
It's illegal.
And it's an illegal
The ball was not in contact with the ground when he kicked it.
Oh.
And that's part of the difficulties of a drop pick.
Well, there you go.
But,
Patriots have resorted to cheating now, huh?
Right.
Can't beat teams the real way. They've got to cheat.
And the referees didn't even know.
Well, they probably all looked at each other and go, what the heck is he doing? What is he doing? And nobody knew.
Well, no one's done it in 65 years. Buttons in seat 5.
Nicole small blind. That's two chips, $4.
Ace-Jack over here for Bruce in seat 3. He's in late position. Let's see if he's going to raise now.
Brian limps in with 3-5, 3-6 suited.
Wow. It's unbelievable.
In first position. Now let's see if we got a raise here. No, you see, now he's gotten to the point where he's been beaten down so much today that he's now playing it passive.
Right. Queen 8 deuce.
And you look at a hand like this where nobody has hit anything, he probably could have taken this down had he raised it and taken control of it.
Well, now he's going to call. Brian came out and he bet with nothing. Raphael actually has the best hand here with king deuce. The turn's a 6. And now Brian picks up the best hand.
Yeah.
Bets again. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's shocking. But we see that a lot of times. What happens is you get a couple of bad. I'm not even talking about Bruce here, but a lot of times you'll be playing and you're playing right, but you get a couple of bad beats or things just don't go your way. You know, you get 3 or 4 ace kings and the ace or the king don't flop, or you get a couple of you get pocket queens or pocket kings and the ace seems to always fall then. And then what happens is we start playing it a little differently. We start playing more passive. So instead of just running bad, now we're playing bad also.
I'm going on an ace king.
Button moves over to Nicole, seat 6.
I even have pocket queen.
Small blind's got pocket 4s.
Got a new player coming into seat 4. His name is Rich.
Seat 3 here. He's going to limp. Here again, Dave. Probably a hand that you'd probably want to open raise with or fold. Ace 8 of diamonds. And Brian's going to raise. Jack 10 offsuit.
And Bruce is all in with ace 8.
I mean, why would you limp with that hand if you only had 2 chips left?
Yeah. Why not go all in right there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's actually ace 8 offsuit. 5, 6, 10. Brian hits top pair and he bets. Raphael calls, so we're building a side pot now. Raphael's going to need to spike a 4 here. Turns another 10.
And Raphael still needs a 4.
Yep. He
Bruce
could win
is
this
drawing
hand
dead.
with a 4. And the river's a 3.
Raphael's open-ended now, but it's a little too late.
And he called him all the way down. And Brian's going to win money on the side and win money in the main. So Brian's done some interesting things here pre-flop, raising out of the blind with Jack 10 off. So we are playing on a short table.
What do you have, 10-6?
And Bruce looks like he's... No, he's still got the seat locked up. He's coming back. Hasn't had enough yet. He's coming back for more punishment, apparently.
Let me throw this out at you.
Throw it at me.
Say if the Patriots play Denver in the second week.
Okay.
Because Pittsburgh has knocked Cincinnati off. Who do you like in that game? What do you think the line will be?
It'll be in Denver. Patriots versus Denver. I would have to imagine Denver would be favored.
Right. Probably by less than 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, a real close one. And I'm going to reserve my judgment to see how the Patriots play this weekend.
Yeah.
But I'll make my picks this week. We're going to make playoff picks. We should do that.
Nicole raises here. Ace deuce offsuit. Again, we are playing kind of short.
Now, Chelsea had a big win on Boxing Day. Still only lost 1 game in the entire Premiership.
I got to tell you, I don't have Fox Sports Channel. Or Fox Soccer Channel, but that channel's amazing. I mean, they've got like 7 or 8 Premiership games every week.
No, it's fabulous. Chelsea had a big game on Boxing Day versus a pretty crappy team. I'm trying to blanking on who they played.
Sunderland?
No, I can't remember.
Brighton? They
were actually winning 2-0.
Middlesbrough?
And then it was 2-2, and they ended up winning, I think, 4-2.
Tottenham?
No. It'll come to me. I'll remember it and I'll look it up. But they played Boxing Day, but Chelsea has been on absolute fire. I think they're leading by like 10, 12 points.
We got a look at this. Seat 2. I think he's in the blind. He just calls a raise with jacks. Did not 3-bet. We got a pretty good hands out here for 5-way
And
action.
there's a jack and there's the ace. Look at that. Thomas and Nicole both hit their aces.
And Santos bets right out with the set of jacks. Seat 5 raises.
Yep.
Ace queen. And what is Nicole going to do?
And Nicole has ace-10 here. She does not have a club in her hand. She's got no redraw whatsoever.
Well, again, I point to the fact that I probably would have, and she's going to call, I probably would have played that hand differently pre-flop if I was Nicole. On a 6-handed table,
and Santos is going to 3-bet it,
yeah,
and they're all going to call.
I mean, wouldn't you either 3-bet or fold that pre-flop if you were Nicole?
Yeah, well.
Ace-10. Turns to 3.
And that doesn't change anything here.
Santos bets again here.
In fact, both of those players are drawing dead. Right? Yes, they are. They're both drawing dead. Santos cannot lose the hand.
And Nicole got herself in a world of hurt.
Raise.
Well, he's going to raise, Dave. I think he wants to put himself all in.
Thomas is raised. Now with ace-queen.
Yeah. And Santos just called.
How do you just call that?
Rivers of 5. The only thing you were scared of was pocket aces, right?
It's the only hand you can't beat. There's no straight out there. But he's all in anyway. And Santos is going to win the pot there.
And again, ace-10 is one of those marginal hands that Nicole had, especially 6-handed. On a full ring game, I'm going to fold it. 6-handed, I would probably 3-bet it.
Yeah, I mean,
Pre-flop.
Ace-10 is a decent hand, obviously. You know, it's a lot better than Ace-9,
right.
But still not great. Not great at all.
Yep.
Ace-10 can get you in a lot of trouble.
So you want to buy?
Again, we're playing 8-16 limit hold'em. The green chips are $2 chips. 4 chip structure.
Yeah, we try to keep the show as interactive as possible, so please email us at live@thebike.com, or you can check out a couple of our links. We have a link at 2plus2.com, or at, is it Full Contact Poker?
Yeah, I don't know if there's a thread going tonight at Full Contact Poker, but you can go to live@thebike.com, our website, spelled out, and you can check it out. There's a couple links to those threads.
Yeah. And we do keep the show as interactive as possible.
Raise here by Brian. I think he's got 7 deuce offsuit, Dave. He's mixing it up. 7 of hearts, deuce of spades, yep. Jack 8 in the blind calls, and Jack 8's hit top 2 pair. Brian's going to bet. Let's see if Bruce check raises. No, he's just going to call. And now is Brian going to keep firing? Turns a 3. Yep. I smell a check raise coming here, Dave.
And you'd be right.
Yep.
And Brian quickly gets rid of it.
Yep.
Now, interesting here, I'm looking at the Jacksonville-New England game here. And Jacksonville's actually, not only are they getting 7.5 points, but they are only minus 105, while New England is minus 115, which means most of the money is going on New England, even giving 7.5 points.
You know, it's interesting in sports betting. I don't know if there are a lot of sports bettors out there. When you've got a hot number, which is like 7 or a 3, they tend to move the money line as opposed to moving the line up and down a half point.
Right.
Because obviously you can get yourself into a situation where you find a line short with one guy and big with another guy. You can actually bet both sides of the line.
Wow, and look at this. Carolina and New York Giants. Carolina is getting 3 points, and they are minus 135, while the Giants, who are giving 3 points at home, are plus 115.
And again, this is just one website, but the reason for that, again, is so you don't have that situation where you're betting both sides of the line. 4-way action here. 8 deuce 6.
Open-ended straight draw here for Thomas.
Infinite patience. 4 to go, or 8 to go, whatever.
And Brian came out and bet here with bottom pair. Well, Nicole gets rid of pocket 4s. Thomas has got, like you said, he's open-ended. Raphael's got queen 7. What's he in there for? Now he picks up a flush draw.
Sometimes you just wonder, you go, what is this guy in there with? And then you go, oh, that's what he's there for.
Yeah.
And the last thing we want to do is be rude, but sometimes we're watching the same game you're watching, guys.
River's a king.
And sometimes it's really hard to figure out what these guys are thinking.
Look at this. Brian's going to take it down there with a pair of deuces.
6s and deuces with a king kicker. How funny is that?
Thank you.
Still milking that MGD over there.
That's a good, actually, I just saw this recommendation. Maybe we can get the girls from Memoirs of a Geisha here to help us out.
Yes.
I know you'd be a big fan of that. Have you seen the movie yet?
Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yes. I actually pumped it the first night it came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I saw a great movie, I want to say Friday night? No, Thursday night. I saw Munich.
I have not seen that, but
and that was, man, I mean, that's heavy, but that's a great movie.
Have you seen Brokeback Mountain yet?
Yeah.
I saw about a half hour of it. I thought it was terrible.
Oh, you had like one of those for your consideration?
Yeah. And I thought it was just, I actually watched 45 minutes of it, and I thought it was awful.
We got pocket aces over there in C3, and he's going to raise it up.
Okay.
I'm not a big Jake Gyllenhaal fan, to be honest with you.
I believe that the blind is all in. Yep, Ralphie's all in.
So we got aces versus 8 deuce, huh?
10 deuce.
10 deuce.
Bruce is only, what, maybe an 89% favorite here? 5 cards to come.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Ralphie's got draw. He needs a 4.
And now Brian's seat 9's actually in there, 6-4. So he's got top pair and is open-ended.
Actually, they have a new player in seat 9.
Yeah. So
his name is Cammy.
That's a pretty good flop. He checks. Bruce is going to bet. You got to think if Bruce loses this, he's just going to be disheveled beyond belief, Dave.
Yeah, but he's got a lot. He's got a lot of cards to dodge here. He's got to dodge a 7. He's got to dodge a deuce. He's got to dodge a 4.
And there's a 5. Well,
and that's an excellent card for him here because 2 pair is no longer good.
Yeah, he always acts a fool.
He still needs to dodge a 7, a deuce, or
and a
6.
4, actually.
Yeah, and a 4.
Still a 4, I'm sorry, because of Ralphie's in there.
Well, Bruce is going to bet here again. And I'd imagine that Cammy is going to call. And he does.
Yeah.
Let's see if Bruce can dodge it here, Dave. I know what you're rooting for.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, and there's the deuce!
Brent's here.
That's classic.
See, Cammy's got to come out and bet, right? He's got a straight. He checked it, Dave.
Oh, he's going to check raise, you think?
I don't know. Bruce is going to bet.
Oh, we got to stay on Bruce here. We got to see what Bruce's face is going to be.
Did Cammy say he's going to raise? Oh, he hasn't done anything yet.
It looks like he's just going to call, I think. Well, let's see.
5 is good.
What are you scared of? A 5? A 5 isn't good. You got a straight. Does he know he has a straight, Dave?
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Do I have a straight?
Oh, okay. Now I think he figured it out. And he said 5 is good. Look at Bruce.
You gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding. You gotta be.
I'm the best player in the West Coast. In the West Coast,
You're the best player in Armenia.
Great work by Ray there to get the camera, the sound right in there. That was fabulous. That's got to be, we got to use that as a sound bite. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. Oh, bad. I tell you. Live at the Bike, I tell you the theme for the first couple of weeks of 2006, Live at the Bike, as cruel as we can be.
Right.
Let's keep it cruel, keep it real. And aces go down in flames. You know, Brokeback Mountain, I like to call it Bumboy Mountain.
Bareback Mountain.
Sphincter Hill. Any of those you can call them. I wasn't, to be honest with you, like I said, I have no problem with the subject matter whatsoever. I just thought the movie was poorly done. I thought of Ang Lee, who actually I think is a good director, I thought he did a terrible job. And I love Crouching Tiger.
Do you like Sense and Sensibility? Another Ang Lee film?
I know that it was great. But Brokeback Mountain I thought was a terrible movie.
5-way action, 4-way action here. You got a bet here out of Brian. He's got ace 7. He's got a straight draw.
Yeah, Bruce has got 2 pair though here.
And he's going to raise. And Dave, if the 5 comes, my God.
Yeah,
Cammy's going to be in there, so Bruce is going to need to dodge a 7 or a 5.
Or a 4. 7, a 5, and a 4, right?
Right.
There you go.
7, a 5, or a 4. Brian calls and Cammy calls. Of course, he'll have redraws, though, if the card comes
right,
in turn.
Exactly.
Turns a 4! Oh, no!
Oh, poor Bruce.
Bruce is going to bet here again. Can we get that picture-in-picture again?
And it's Cammy again who's going to give him the bad beat.
Double whatever the bet.
Double.
And he said, how much is it to raise? He raises.
8 more. 4 more. Okay. 1
more.
And Bruce calls.
Okay.
I think Bruce is all in here, is he?
No, he's got some more chips behind. He's got some chips in his hand.
Excellent.
River's a deuce.
Changes nothing here.
What do you want to do? Check, bet, or fold? Bet the maximum. How much is it?
Bet the maximum. Somebody's got to tell him he's playing limit hold'em here.
4.
You got a 4, huh? There he goes.
I think he said Mazel Tov.
Why? It's a beginner's luck. It's normal. Very normal. Even if it's on the river, still, they might be choking more.
And speaking of Mazel Tov, back to Munich for a second. You know, I actually thought it was a great movie. Really good. I mean, Steven Spielberg was remarkable. Absolutely remarkable.
Okay, and your bid.
They're paying attention. You can hear them quietly.
Now, the interesting thing is also, after watching 45 minutes of Brokeback Mountain, I mean, I was really excited because I thought Heath Ledger would really take his acting to another level, and I was like, oh, Jake Gyllenhaal and Ang Lee, I was like, this is going to be really great, you know, a great cultural piece, you know? And I was just so disappointed in it.
Have you ever seen Gay Rodeo on the Bravo channel before?
Gay Rodeo?
They do a reality show called Gay Rodeo.
I haven't seen it.
No.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Yeah.
In case I call out.
Got a race here by Nicole. She's got ace-10 offsuit.
4 players.
We got four-way action here. So 8 small bets. Jack 6-4 Rainbow.
Well, Cammy's got top pair.
Hey.
Did Bruce lock up his seat again, or is he gone this time?
I think he said Mazel Tov.
Mazel Tov, and he said goodbye.
We're scared of you already.
A bet here by Cammy, and I don't know why Nicole's calling, but she did call.
Somebody send Bruce a matzo ball. He's
Turns
gone.
to 3. Cammy's got a flush draw now, too. Whatever happened to Cammy, the girl that used to play here, Dave, the hot one?
She comes occasionally. She's not very good, so
Right.
you know. It's only so many days you can lose in a row until you stop playing, you know.
$16.
Santos has picked up a higher flush draw here, by the way.
2 players.
Well, that's not going to do it.
No.
Anyone with a 5 would have a straight. This one might go check, check.
I don't know, though. I don't know if Cammy's paying attention to that. And he does, okay.
Okay, open up. King high.
Jack is good.
Got a pair of jacks there. Yeah, Cammy, obviously, really nice girl. She used to play No Limit, and she'd play the 3-5 game or the 200 game. And she took 1 or 2
Pretty
shots.
easy on the eyes.
Right, yeah. But she took 1 or 2 shots at the 500 game. But like a lot of poker players, she would, you know, I think she consistently lost for 3 or 4 months, realized she was losing a lot, and then took 3 or 4 months off.
Right.
I did actually see her here right before I left for New York.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen
But
her
I mean,
in a
she
while.
maybe comes now once every month or so.
Yeah.
What's tomorrow? Maybe 3 to 5.
Button's going to move over there. Seat 8. That is a good question. What are we doing tomorrow night for Shirley's last show? What's the game on tap?
And it should be an exciting night.
Yeah.
I know Shirley is going to be doing the webcast with you and with me as well.
Right.
So
Monday to Friday.
Raise here on the button. Brian's got Jack 5 of diamonds.
4 players.
And we got 4-way action. Look at seat 9 playing the rush cold call with 9-3 of diamonds. Ace 6-3. Well, Santos has top pair here. From what I understand, he's probably going to check here. It's a scary board.
you can't check that. There's no spade in his hands.
Check.
I'm not agreeing with the play.
How do you check that? I mean, he's happens to be fine. Nobody's got a spade board. What does he do if a spade falls off?
Well, now is he going to bet?
Well, now Brian's open-ended. And Brian's going to bet it.
He didn't.
He didn't bet on the turn.
Santos didn't bet the turn.
And is Santos even going to call?
These 2 black queens are good.
Yeah, he's going to call.
2 players.
But you got to imagine, well, if a spade comes and Brian bluffs at it, can Santos... And look at it, a spade here on the river. Let's see if Brian bets. Brian's going to bet because he has nothing. But look at this, Santos calls. That surprised me a
Hey,
little bit.
you know what? Let's give Santos some credit here. He induced a bluff there. Had he bet the turn or the flop, he probably makes no money out of it. By inducing the bluff, you know, he got Brian to bluff at it. 2 big bets, actually. And he got 16 chips out of it.
You didn't have a spade?
Now, I'm not sure. I will say one thing about Munich. I'm not sure now in terms of my Oscar vote whether it would go to Munich or Walk the Line. Because Walk the Line is still one of my favorites of the year, I must say. Have you seen that yet?
I have not seen that yet.
No, that was a fabulous movie, the Cash movie.
Well, you liked Ray, too, didn't you? When it
I thought
came
Ray
out?
was a good movie. I didn't think it was the best movie of the year last year. I thought it was a good movie. Walk the Line I thought was phenomenal.
But obviously the lead actor in Ray is going to get Oscar consideration.
He won
nomination
last
there.
year.
Oh, that's right. That was last year, right?
Yeah.
Oh. That's how out of it I am.
Yeah.
Ray's here in seat 8. Ace Jack.
Same flop, only slightly different.
4 players.
4-way action.
And Brian Dess the same flop, just slightly different.
King 8-9. Rainbow.
Oh, Arcadia's got top pair now.
That's it.
Good kicker with a queen there. And he's in really good shape there. Brian and Thomas don't really have much of a draw, and they're both going to fold. And Santos is out of there, too. And Arcadia takes it down.
Cocktail, please.
Never played on the same table before.
Good.
I work a lot in
No
the
bad
chips,
beats.
so, you
Button moves over here to seat 1.
I never played.
Look at seat 9. He's got his chips all over the place, Dave.
Yeah,
He got a mound.
And he's keeping them out there.
I know. He's pushing them out to the table.
That's classic.
Yeah.
They're in his way.
You let me have a sip of your cognac. I still remember. That was like a year ago.
I'm ordering another one now.
Ask him for another sip.
I will.
Button here is in seat 9. Seat 1 limped in. And so did seat 9.
Okay.
And actually, the Button's over in seat 1. We can't see what
Seat 9 has there.
seat 9 has. 7-3-3 here. And look at this. Thomas has flopped quads in seat 5, Dave. Just like that.
That's it? Just quads? Does anybody have a 7?
No. No one has diamond draw. No one has anything. Got checked around, turns a diamond. And now, wouldn't you bet here? Hope that
Well,
someone
look at
calls with
Arcadia.
the top.
Arcadia's got top pair.
I mean, when are you ever going to put money in with pot? I mean, does everyone always have to go for a check raise? I mean, wouldn't you bet threes at some point? My God.
Well, it is quad threes. You don't mind letting somebody get there a little bit.
Well, now
I mean, think of the flop. It's 7-3-3. I mean, you want somebody to get there a little bit.
Yeah, but I would definitely bet the turn if I was going to check the flop and it got checked around. Absolutely. And Thomas just calls. Now, the problem is no one has a diamond here.
No, the best card possibly that with 9. If a 9 comes out, you might make some money.
Oh, absolutely. River's a queen. Thomas is going to bet now.
So you're such a good player. What do you get?
And Arcadia calls, and I got to say, he made the minimum on that hand.
Well, I got to play. I got to have to disagree with you on that. How is he going to make any more money than that in that hand?
First position.
Well, with what was out there.
That's what I mean.
Probably.
With that kind of board,
But I mean,
7-3-3.
check, call the turn, bet the river. I mean, that is the way of making the minimum on a big hand.
I mean,
Checking, letting it check around the flop, check calling the turn, and then betting out on the river.
Right.
Getting one bet from one person on 2 streets.
I understand that, but if he check raises, or he bets in on the turn, he's probably just going to call anyway. If he check raises the turn, Arcadia's probably going to let it go.
Now, in that case, when you said a 9, if a 9 had came, he might have made some money. Well, it seems like Arcadia is smart enough a player where he can't beat 7-9. So he's not going to get 10 bets or something on the river.
No, but he might get 4.
Right.
But yeah.
I mean, if
I
someone,
mean, like I said, I'm with you. I'm not a proponent of slow playing at all. But sometimes you flop quads, and it's not like, I mean, if the board is 3-3 ace or 3-3 king, it's a lot different than 3-3-7.
Right.
You got to let somebody get something. And in that case, he let Arcadia catch a 9, and he got paid off at least a couple of bets.
raise here, and Brian raised with ace 10. He's not going to get any calls. I mean, if I had a 9 in that case, king 9, and the river came 9, the guy bets out at me. I raise. I don't have 9-7, and he 3-bets me. You shouldn't re-raise.
No, you shouldn't.
I mean, that's it.
Well,
That's all it is.
You wouldn't re-raise a good player.
No.
Because a good player is only going to call you if he's got a 9.
Right. Now, it's a different story if I'm against a player that, I think that doesn't understand the concept, and I've got 9-7. I might put my whole rack in there. Let's say Cammy, for example, who might not be figuring out what's the best hand there. Right.
You don't know. You might put a couple extra bets in there with just a 9.
Well, I mean, 9-7 is pretty much the second nut, right?
Yeah, I might even do it with a 9.
Yeah.
Thinking he might put more money in there with 3s. 1-3, that is.
We had a raise here by seat 1.
Yeah, he's got ace-jack of hearts. No, I'm sorry, ace-jack offsuit.
Because of you?
We're going to see 4-way action. 8, 6, 9 with a couple of hearts. And Raf's going to bet here with ace 9.
Now, Nicole's got bottom pair plus a gut shot. Arcadia's just got the overcards. Raphael's got top pair.
Cammy raised with jack 6.
10 minutes.
Wow. Arcadia's out of there. Rafi calls. And we're heads up.
No, I have top pair.
Raf announces his hand. Turns a jack. And look at that. Cammy hits 2 pair now. And once again, he asks, how much can I bet? 8 chips. And he bets 8 chips. $16. And here we go to the river.
And Raphael needs a 9 or an ace.
River is an 8. And actually, there it is, Dave. The ace-9 is good.
I have a 9.
Excuse me, no, it's not. The jack. I counterfeited myself there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, Cammy's hand doesn't. The 6 doesn't play, but he does have jacks and 8s.
Right.
Meaning 9s and 8s.
Yeah.
Brings me on the turn with
He
that.
would have lost to, say, a jack with a higher kicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's say he had 8s and 6s.
Right.
And the jack had come on the river.
I was
Then the
right.
9s and
First
jacks
both
would
ways,
play.
and I would have won. He said, because of the turn and then the river. That doesn't happen very often.
I know you didn't know. No, he
And
didn't.
there he's going to take it down. And again, he still has his chips out in front of the table.
Not know.
Well, all over. I mean, look at that.
There's only one thing.
Are you kidding me?
There's only 3 things I'm good at in life.
I mean, you wonder. You're not even sure whose chips are whose
Are
at this
you
point.
kidding me?
I'm telling you, he did not know.
Look at that. He's reaching over to Brian.
Hey, you know what? He's got the money. He's
I
laying
think
around.
he's intimidated by the window. He's trying to keep the window open.
No, I said.
And, like, he doesn't,
have the
you know,
best hand.
you can stack them behind
You
him.
had no idea.
Yeah, I guess he suppose he
You had
could.
the best hand. I had already.
I mean, those are actually stacks, too.
He's got ace-10 offsuit this time.
Yeah.
And he's going to limp in, put one extra chip in there.
Now, he's the kind of player, to be honest, and some people go, oh, well, this kind of player who plays in an 8-16 game. That's the kind of guy who plays in the 30-60 game, too. I mean, it's just a guy who has money,
Right.
doesn't really care. He's here to have a good time, and so be it.
Four-way action. King deuce 7 with a couple of clubs.
Misses everybody. Cammy's still good with ace high.
Checked around. The turn's a 4.
And ace high still good. Thomas has now picked up a draw. Needs a 5 for the straight.
5.
And he asked for the 5, but it doesn't come.
River's a queen, but ace high still good.
Yep.
I have jack high.
Ace high.
Raffy's got the Alex Powers hand, but ace high's going to take it down. And looks like we get the new player there in seat 4, Rich. I know Rich is a fan of the show. We got a little less than 10 minutes left there, Dave.
In our first show of 2006, we've got a lot of exciting things going to happen for Live at the Bike this year. Hope you guys stay with us. Promised all sorts of new technological advances and, some fun free rolls and so forth, and heads-up tournaments, you playing heads-up and so forth, and all sorts of exciting things. So please stay with us.
And now I'm going to have to deal with you every night.
Yeah, maybe we'll get somebody else in here. And if you're ever curious what is going on, you can just check it out at liveatthebike.com.
Buttons moved
Check out
over
their
here.
schedule.
To Nicole in seat 6.
Our producer is constantly updating it with new fun stuff for everybody.
Limp here with ace-4 offsuit by Santos. Again, we talk about that. His pre-flop starting criteria, Dave, not that strong.
Right.
And then he plays it passively throughout. I mean, say an ace comes here on the board, you guys heads up. If Brian bets, he's probably just going to call, right? On the flop.
Yeah, and let's be honest, if he doesn't hit his hand and Brian bets, he's probably going to fold. Like, okay, right now, what is going to happen?
Well, if Brian doesn't bet, it's probably going to go check, and it did go check, turns to 7.
And now Brian's going to bet because he's got the 10.
Nope, check again.
Wow.
And the river's a queen.
Is Brian going to bet now?
Take it. Check.
I'm really surprised Brian did that. I mean,
I let it go this time.
and here Brian said he goes, I let it go this time. Why would he let it go this time? Why not take it down? You don't like money? You know Santos isn't going to bet it.
I always wonder one thing.
I mean, the only thing with Santos is he plays it so passive is he might have actually checked. He might check call with any pair. And he might not even bet a pair.
Different game.
Different style.
Different game, but there's definitely
Button is in seat 7.
maneuverability.
Steeler's having trouble getting the cards over there to seat 8 and 9 because of all his chips.
They give lessons in the valley.
Oh, this is it. He's got all his chips on the
middle.
hard spot.
Dealers,
Well, we got a limp here by seat 4, Jack 10. And Brian's going to raise it up here on the button. He's got 3-4 offsuit. Here we go to the flop. 3-5 jack with a couple of diamonds. And Brian bets out here immediately with bottom pair. He did raise pre-flop. Rich has got top pair. Let's see how Rich is going to play it over there in seat 4. Cammie's going to call with middle pair. And Rich raises here. Pretty straightforward with the jack. And Brian calls and Cammie calls. Rich is going to need to dodge here a 5, a 3, an 8, or a 4. The turn's a king. And Rich has the highest diamond flush draw now as well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. A little too quick.
Brian is checked. And all players have diamonds in their hands. And Rich is going to bet again, and you would imagine that Brian's going to get out of this hand. He does.
Pair the board, either.
And here we go to the river. Cammie called. The river's a 7.
Go ahead.
Check here. Now, so you're saying that possibly a value bet here from you from Jack 10 here on the river?
Yes.
I don't know if Cammie would have called with a 5, but
there is value to not having to show down the winning hand.
I don't know if it goes so far in this game if people are paying attention that much. But
right, you never know.
I know
but
what
hey,
you're getting at.
But keeping that habit of doing that.
Yeah. Now, there is a thread going on at Full Contact Poker tonight. I didn't see it. We don't. Again, it's kind of a new. Well, it's not. Apparently, it's not a new thing, but it's new that we're following it. So.
Yeah, no, and people that are new to the show, I want everybody to understand. We got a new player there. Understand that we try to offer something new and something different for every type of poker viewer and poker, player. Obviously tonight we have kind of a low mid limit game.
Yeah.
Obviously Wednesday we've got 50-100 no limit hold'em.
Right.
And we try to do low no limit games. We try to do big no limit games. We try to throw in a limit game once in a while. We even throw in heads up no limit hold'em once in a while.
Right.
Really trying to catering to pretty much everybody who likes poker.
Now we had a raise here again. Now it's Brian. He's got ace queen suited. He's on the button in seat 8, and everybody's calling call. Again, we're playing 8-16 limit hold'em, Dave. This is pretty much the smallest game we have on the show. 4-way action. King 8-10 with a couple of diamonds. Santos got top pair there in seat 2, but I got to think he's probably not going to bet from what we've seen tonight.
And if he gives free cards out, Cammie could get there with the nut flush draw.
I believe that Cammie bet with the nut flush draw. I get a call here by Arcadia with middle pair.
And Santos just smooth called as well.
Turns a 6. So no raise with middle pair from Jack 10. No raise with King 7. And I believe that Cammie...
I think he's going to bet.
He's going to bet again here. Well, now Arcadia's out of there. Santos is just going to keep calling.
Hey, you wonder if Brian's going to take one off here looking for this gut shot? No, he's going to throw it away.
I don't really know. Well, I guess he called on the flop looking for the gut shot. And the river is an ace, and Cammie's got the best hand now.
Yep. Well, that was one of his outs. And by getting, by being aggressive and getting Brian out of there, his ace is good.
That's what I wanted.
And Cammie has bet here. Santos calls, and Cammie is going to take it down. Now, obviously, the hand probably would have played out the same way. But, I mean, if you're Santos, the reason why you want to raise that flop is to get Brian out of there, right? Let's say Brian stuck around, and Cammie just had a busted draw that he kept betting into.
Right. Although, actually, if you know that Brian's in there, if you know Brian's got ace-queen, you really don't mind him in there because, he shares the ace with Cammie. Cammie's not going anywhere anyway. The only additional outs that are...
in this specific situation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But I'm saying the concept of raising with top pair to protect your hand.
And more chips for Cammie. What is he going to do with these?
Look at this! This is the first here at Live at the Bike.
Yeah, that's great.
This is going to be the last hand of the night. Look at this. These chips are skewed forwards, Dave.
And you can watch us Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 Pacific time. Live at the Bike. Always here. Please email us with your suggestions and comments.
I think the button's in seat 9. Look how far up it is. Next to the shuffle machine. Raphael's going to bring this one in.
If you're Brian, do you get kind of annoyed? You can't even put your chips out there.
got ace-jack offsuit. Cammy's going to call with pocket sixes. Actually, excuse me, Cammy folds seat 1.
Actually, Arcadia, and he 3-bet.
He 3-bet.
Trying to limit the field, but Santos calls 3-bet folds with ace-9.
Ace-9. I think Raphael's all in. So maybe, I think Arcadia's trying to push Santos out. That's why he 3-bet.
Of course.
So Rafi's all in, and then, but Santos didn't get out of there, though.
She's trying to isolate with the...
wow, ace, king, queen. Raphael's good right now.
Yeah, Rafi's going to win this pot, it looks like.
Arcadia would need to spike a 6 here running hearts. And actually, you know what? Arcadia checked, and Santos bet on the side.
And Arcadia threw it away.
So that's actually a good bet by Santos. Why let him try to get there to beat you, right?
No, definitely.
Turns a king.
Oh, they're going to chop it up now.
Yep. River's a king. Both players have full houses.
And obviously, they both had aces and kings.
Yep.
With queen kicker, now they both have kings full of aces.
Yep. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight. Again, we want to welcome everyone that's watching it for the first time. What a way to start off the new year, Dave, in 2006.
Pretty exciting.
Join us tomorrow night. We normally will do No Limit Hold'em 4 nights a week. Tonight is our limit nights for all of you people out there that aren't big fans of Limit Hold'em. We've got No Limit cash games Tuesday through Friday.
Yeah, we got plenty of that coming your way.
6 o'clock to 9 o'clock Pacific time. So for everyone here in the booth and for David Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Join us tomorrow night for Shirley Rosario's last show. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.